From Red Zone Weather in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. Severe weather coverage starts right now.
A tornado warning is in effect for parts of central Mobile County on this Saturday evening. Confirmed tornado happening now near Theodore, near the I-10 corridor, pushing to the north toward the campus of the University of South Alabama. Hope you're having a nice Saturday evening. This is a call to action because we have a possible tornado coming into areas near Tillman's Corner and the western part of the Mobile Metro. This is a tornado warning that's just been issued for parts of central Mobile County. And let's actually zoom out and show you exactly who's involved in this tornado warning, because this is going to be one that's in effect until 5:45 local time. We've had several tornado warnings over the last few hours across parts of George and Jackson counties back here in Mississippi. But this is a tornado warning for central Mobile County until 5:45 p.m. This is not for the city of Mobile in terms of downtown and midtown, but we note that the campus of the University of South Alabama, West Mobile, and areas out here towards the Mobile Regional Airport are involved in this new tornado warning that's valid until 5:45 p.m. Again, this warning just now coming on the board, and the Weather Service has just upgraded this to a confirmed tornado tag, meaning they are observing a tornado on the ground at this point near Theodore, coming into areas near Tillman's Corner and Interstate 10 on the western side of the Mobile Metro. It's been a while since our area has had a tornado warning. And again, for the folks in central Mobile County, specifically on the west side of the Mobile Metro, we have a possible tornado moving to the north at about 25 miles per hour. This could be a damaging tornado. And again, we are encouraging everyone in Tillman's Corner and Theodore to be in a safe place because of this confirmed tornado moving off to the north. Downwind of this, we also have folks involved near Wheelerville and also the Mobile Regional Airport. This is the campus of the University of South Alabama. You see the Orchard neighborhood on the map here. I would go ahead and get in my safe place if I'm at Orchard. Same thing along Airport Boulevard, Azalea Road, areas out here on the western side of the Mobile Metro involved in this tornado warning polygon where we could have a tornado, or I should say we do have a tornado on the ground. Again, this is the only tornado warning that we have for any part of South Alabama and Northwest Florida at this point. And let's actually put the radar into motion because we've had numerous showers and thunderstorms developing out here over the Gulf of Mexico over the last several hours. But this is the first tornado warning of the day, and it's in effect for parts of central Mobile County due to a confirmed tornado near Interstate 10. Let's go ahead and put up our tornado warning reminders. And again, if I call you out, this is what you need to be doing right now. Lowest floor site-built structure away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. This is for West Mobile, areas near Wheelerville, the campus of the University of South Alabama, and also for areas near Theodore and Tillman's Corner. This is what you need to be doing. Take a screenshot of this if you need to. We want you near the middle part of the house, away from windows and away from doors. Perhaps the most important thing on this list is put a helmet on to protect your head. That's for kids and for adults, not just for the kids. You need to have something that can protect your head if you are in the central part of Mobile County. So again, a confirmed tornado on the ground at this point, coming into areas near Tillman's Corner. Let's zoom into the storm because this thing is moving to the north. The tornado is going to be near Interstate 10 right now, right in through here. You can kind of see the hook on the reflectivity, which indicates that the whole storm is rotating. But the possible tornado, or I should say confirmed tornado, is going to be on the back side of this, right about here near Interstate 10 and also near the US Highway 98 corridor near Tillman's Corner. So again, everyone in Tillman's Corner, you need to be in a safe place now. Don't wait, don't play with this. We know that there's a tornado on the ground at this point. Moving off to the north. Let's see if we can go over to our debris tracker product, because this will help us ascertain exactly what the Weather Service is seeing. And right in through here is the little suspect area on radar. And I say little, this could be a sizable tornado moving off to the north. That area of blue right in through there near the Interstate 10 corridor is likely debris that's being lofted into the sky. And so again, for everyone in Tillman's Corner, be in a safe place. Let's zoom in tight. You're looking at the velocity display, and let's put this in motion and see exactly what triggered the warning. When the cell was a bit farther south, down here south of Theodore, this is actually what triggered the tornado warning from our friends at the National Weather Service office in Mobile. And let's see if we can move that forward, because again, this is a situation where the confirmed tornado is happening near Tillman's Corner right now. We'll go back over to the big radar system, and let's go over to velocity on that. It looks like this has kind of broadened out just a little bit, but as a course of least regret, we need everyone to stay in that tornado safe place for the next few minutes. This is not going to be a long duration deal. No need to plan to be in your tornado safe place for the next hour or anything like that. I have a feeling that once this thing lifts, we may get a cancellation on the warning, but don't come out of that tornado hiding place just yet. The campus of the University of South Alabama, areas near the Mobile Regional Airport, Baker High School points back to the east here on the western side of the Mobile Metro, involved in this ongoing tornado warning that's valid until 5:45 p.m. And again, we would encourage you just hang out in that tornado safe place, and hopefully we'll be able to give you an all clear in the next little bit as we continue to monitor this very dangerous situation. The Weather Service called this a confirmed tornado a bit ago. And again, let's put the velocity in motion. You can see that they've kind of trimmed the polygon back a little bit. And let's actually zoom in real tight here so that we can show you, if you're near Irvington or Laurendale or areas near Fowl River, this is down here on the southern side of Mobile County, we'll give you a temporary tornado all clear. The threat is now basically at Tillman's Corner and Theodore. So again, this would be your tornado if indeed it's down right in through here. And again, the Weather Service continues to monitor the situation and adjust that polygon accordingly. The beautiful thing about the tornado warning polygon is if you're in the danger zone, you're inside the polygon, but there are many, many other folks in Mobile County who are not in danger right now. So if you're in Saraland, Satsuma, Creola, areas near Wilmer, also Citronelle, areas up here near Axis, there is no threat for the northern part of Mobile County. The issues are here on the western side of the Mobile, Alabama metro area. We should note as well, we've got a tornado warning, a separate tornado warning in effect for parts of Jackson County due to this storm that's now north of Pascagoula. This is going to move out here towards Hurley in Jackson County, Mississippi. And so Mobile County and Jackson County, those are the two zones currently under the gun from these tornado warnings. Let's have a look at these other storms in Baldwin County as well. No warning out for Baldwin County at this point, but we do note that these storms are indeed broadly rotating. This is Mobile Bay. Fort Morgan is here. Gulf Shores is right here. There's Orange Beach. This is Alabama Highway 59. That's U.S. Highway 98. Rotating cell over southern Mobile Bay, going to move just like that. We will see if that approaches Point Clear and Fairhope in about 20 to 30 minutes. That could be an issue down the line for those communities. But again, watching the situation here in Mobile County very intently, as a moment ago we had a confirmed tornado near Theodore. And so again, watching the situation near Theodore with enhanced interest at this point. Let's go back over to our iPad view. And again, this is the velocity display. You see this area of pinkish red right here, lighter green. This is the broad area of rotation. And I think that it's fair to say over the last few frames, this has certainly broadened out from what it once was, which is a good thing. But the Weather Service, in their assessment, they still believe that there's enough indication on radar here that we could have a tornado down. And so the call to action continues for Point Clear and points north up here towards the campus of the University of South Alabama, Azalea Road, Airport Boulevard. Those are the areas under the gun. And the Weather Service is noting that We've had some folks across the region that have gotten these wireless emergency alerts over the last little bit incorrectly, I might add. So if you're, let's just kind of do a wide view across the region to talk about this, because if you are outside of Mobile County in Alabama or Northwest Florida, you are not involved in a tornado warning, all right? So this is strictly for the central part of Mobile County. We have no issues right now in Clark, Monroe, Conecuh, Butler, Covington, Escambia counties in Alabama, or in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, or Walton counties in Northwest Florida. You are fine. There's no reason to, modify your schedule or anything like that. We do have an ongoing tornado watch, which means conditions are favorable for more warnings across parts of Washington, Baldwin, Mobile counties in southwest Alabama, and for Escambia County in northwest Florida. So a tornado watch is in effect for those 4 counties, but the only warning in the entire state of Alabama right now is in effect for parts of Mobile County. Let's get back in there and kind of look at this situation, because this is a supercell thunderstorm that's isolated in nature. And again, the possible tornado is going to be right here near Tillman's Corner. Let's see if we can advance that. There we go. Actually, the cell is now a bit to the north. The radar data that you just saw was a bit delayed. Your possible tornado is going to be right here. And this is rapidly approaching the campus of the University of South Alabama. And so what I'm telling you is, if you have a student on the campus of USA, call them, let them know that we have a tornado warning in effect. I see we've got a new tornado warning coming out right now for parts of Baldwin County. This is going to be a separate tornado warning coming on the board for parts of Baldwin County, and this is going to be in effect for areas near Foley and Robertsdale. So again, a separate new tornado warning is coming on the board right now for parts of Baldwin County. And again, if I go silent, just bear with me as we have a separate tornado warning coming on the board for parts of Baldwin County. Look at that. You see that hook echo? This is a possible tornado that's going to affect Foley and areas near Summerdale and Robertsdale over the next few minutes. And by the way, it looks like the Weather Service, in their assessment, they have trimmed this polygon in Mobile County back, and the possible tornado is going to be on the southern side of the Mobile Airport, right in through here in Mobile County. This is going to come out towards Airport Boulevard in the next few minutes. And again, just watching this situation in Mobile County, while we look at our new tornado warning, this is going to be for Foley and areas near the Grove, which is on the west side of Foley, and for areas near Summerdale and Robertsdale. So again, a separate tornado warning has just been issued for parts of Baldwin County at this point. This warning does not include Fairhope, Point Clear, Gulf Shores, or Orange Beach. Those communities are out. But if you're in Foley, Summerdale, Robertsdale, areas near, let's say, Silver Hill and points back to the east on US Highway 90, you are involved in this new separate tornado warning that is valid until 6 o'clock, all right? So this one's on the board until 6 o'clock. By the way, this has nothing to do with Spanish Fort or Daphne. If you're in Spanish Fort, Daphne, Fairhope, Montrose, Point Clear, this warning is to your southeast. Same thing along the Alabama beaches. This warning is to your north. Let's actually go back over to our iPad display, and man, oh man, that system has really ramped up in terms of this specific cell that has ramped up over the last few moments. Right in through there, you see that lighter shade of green. That's where we have a possible tornado in southern Baldwin County. Again, just to get your geographical bearings straight, here's Foley. This is Alabama Highway 59. This is US Highway 98. The Grove community that sits just to the west of Foley is right here, all right? So there's the Grove, there's Foley. You've got areas near Magnolia Springs. Magnolia Springs is technically not included in the tornado warning, but if you're in Magnolia Springs, it is very, very close, and you still have some rain and thunderstorms in the general vicinity of Magnolia Springs. And again, just getting out some new information in the Red Zone weather app. Possible tornado just to the southeast of Foley, moving to the northeast just like this. This is going to cross US Highway 98 somewhere near or just to the west of Foley. While we look at that, let's go back over to our tornado warned storm in Mobile County, because we have 2 tornado warnings now happening, one of which is in effect for Mobile County. The other is in effect for Baldwin County, and this is a specific polygon that contains the danger zones. If you're inside the polygon, you are involved in the tornado warning. Possible tornado is going to be on the south side of this supercell thunderstorm that's producing heavy rain near the campus of the University of South Alabama. And we've been calling this out for the last 15 minutes. If you have a child or a student on the campus of USA, call them, text them, tag them in the comments below, as we have a possible tornado moving just like this to the north. This is going to be very near or just to the east of the Mobile Regional Airport over the next few minutes. So again, tracking these 2 separate, distinct tornado warnings that we have ongoing in parts of Mobile and Baldwin counties. Separate warning in effect for Jackson County, Mississippi. Pascagoula points areas, I should say, just to the north of there, involved in that tornado warning, which is separate from our 2 that we are covering. And again, longtime viewers and readers know that if I go silent just for a minute, bear with me, as we are watching 400,000 things, it seems like, going on in the studio. And by the way, thanks so much to everyone who are tagging folks in the comments below. Let's actually go back to our watch warning map, and I want to do kind of a deep dive into this warning that we have ongoing in Baldwin County. Robertsdale, Summerdale, Foley, areas near Bon Secour, you are the communities involved in this active tornado warning, valid until 6 p.m. If I just called you out, you need to be implementing that tornado safe plan, putting a helmet on, closed-toed shoes, lowest floor, site-built structure near the center of your home. That's where we want you to be. Getting a report in from Mobile traffic that we've got trees down along Downs Road in Mobile County. And so that presumably is going to be from this storm that we are tracking in Mobile County. Some damage being reported down around Tillman's Corner. Yeah, and I'm actually getting a separate report that law enforcement is reporting we've got damage to a home near Tongue Avenue due to a possible tornado. And so that's going to be on the southern side of this polygon. Possible tornado now, though, we've got to focus on what's happening now, is happening here on the western side of the Mobile Metro near the campus of the University of South Alabama. All right, so if you're at USA, please be in that tornado safe place. Same thing at Foley. If you're in Foley, let's go back to our Baldwin County storm. We would encourage you to be in a safe place. And you know what? I tell you, that polygon does include Magnolia Springs. And so if you're at Magnolia Springs, this has been adjusted a bit, and we would tell you to please be in a safe place. If you're at Magnolia Springs or areas near the bridge is technically out, all right? This is US Highway 98. The large bridge over Weeks Bay is out, but the city, or the town, I should say, of Magnolia Springs is actually inside this tornado polygon. And we would tell you to be in a safe place near the middle part of your house if you're at Magnolia Springs or Foley. Looks like this is probably going to miss Foley proper a bit to the west, but if I'm in Foley, you better believe I'm in that tornado safe place right now, as we have a possible tornado moving off to the northeast. This one is in effect until 6 p.m. We also see this separate cell that seems to be weakening in parts of Mobile County, Alabama. Again, be in a safe place if you are in these areas. We've got a new tornado warning in effect for parts of Mobile County. This is going to be a new separate tornado warning. And again, we are calling a new tornado warning that's just been issued for parts of Mobile County. And so this is a big one. This is going to include downtown Mobile. So again, downtown Mobile is now involved in an active tornado warning. An active tornado warning is now in effect for downtown Mobile, Alabama. And we would encourage you to be in a safe place right now. Let me actually step off camera briefly, and I'm going to grab a chair real quick because, again, we're watching this situation in Mobile County very carefully as we now have a tornado warning in effect for downtown Mobile, Brookley Field, areas near Pritchard are also involved in this tornado warning. So again, tracking 3 separate tornado warnings in effect for parts of southwest Alabama at this point. The warnings are in effect for Mobile County and Baldwin County exclusively. And so if you're in those zones, you are involved in an active tornado warning. Let's go ahead and zoom into the new warning and tell you exactly who's involved in this. You know what? This is actually also going to include Saraland, Creola, Satsuma, Pritchard, and areas near Mobile. Downtown and Midtown involved in this active tornado warning, valid until 6:15 p.m. Getting a report from Morgan Berry. She is a meteorologist at the National Weather Service office in Mobile. She's telling us that we have now a funnel cloud that's been reported near Brookley Field. And so this new tornado warning that's just been triggered is actually because of 2 funnel clouds that were spotted near Brookley Field. And again, a separate tornado warning has just come on the board for Mobile County. So this is a lot going on at this point. What we need to do is kind of do a reset here and tell you exactly who is involved in tornado warnings. Let's start with the thing in Baldwin County because Magnolia Springs is under the gun from this polygon, this tornado warning polygon, possible tornado right in through here. Let's see if we can go over to the velocity to see it a bit better. Yeah, right there is going to be your possible tornado. This is coming up the pike towards Summerdale over the next few minutes. Foley, it looks like this is going to miss a bit to the west, but as a course of least regret, we need Foley to be in that tornado safe place. Same thing at Summerdale, same thing at Robertsdale. Please be in a safe place. Let's go into Mobile County because we actually have 2 separate warnings in effect. This one near the campus of the University of South Alabama appears to be weaker at this point. But nonetheless, if you are near the Mobile Regional Airport or the campus of the University of South Alabama, we need you to be in a safe place now as we have an area of rotation on radar that appears to be a bit weaker, but we want you to stay in that tornado safe place until the warning is done. Let's talk about the new warning that we have. This is for the city of Mobile, Alabama. And if you're in downtown Mobile, midtown Mobile, Crichton, Pritchard, Navco, areas near Brookley, the Aeroplex, near the Gulf Quest Maritime Museum there near downtown Mobile, please be in a safe place. You've also got areas near Saraland. The campus of the University of Mobile is on the edge of this polygon. We would encourage you, if you're at the campus of the University of Mobile, to be in a safe place now, all right? You're on the edge, but nonetheless, it's going to be close enough that we would want you sheltered now on the campus of the University of Mobile. Same thing at Saraland, Satsuma, and ultimately north of I-65 out here towards Creola and Axis. Please be in a safe place. So again, tracking 3 separate tornado warnings that we have on the board until 6:15 p.m. And again, these are brief spin-up tornadoes that are going to develop and go away very quickly, all right? You actually see that we have 5 tornado warning polygons on the map at this point, 2 of which are in effect for Jackson County, Mississippi, and then you have 1, 2, 3 in our local area. Let's go back over to our storm in Baldwin County because this is a broadly rotating thunderstorm. I say broadly rotating, it's rotating enough to the point where the Weather Service has opted to issue a tornado warning. Let's go over to the velocity view. And there's the thing that prompted the tornado warning for Foley and Magnolia Springs and areas near Summerdale, all right? So if you're at Summerdale or Foley, possible tornado passing very near you over the next few minutes. The Weather Service is noting that this could be the next tornado warning that comes on the board right here near Point Clear, coming up towards Fairhope, Daphne, and Spanish Fort. So again, watching this thing at Point Clear, there is no tornado warning out for the eastern shore at this point, but if you are at Point Clear and Fairhope, just know that we may have a tornado warning coming on for you in a matter of moments. The good news is I don't really see much in the way of rotation that's lingering with this storm approaching downtown Mobile, but nonetheless, just because we don't see it on radar doesn't mean that there's not something down. We had a storm back in the spring that moved through the city of Mobile that did a considerable amount of damage. And I see we've got a new tornado warning out for parts of Stone and Perry counties over in Mississippi. So again, watching this situation very, very carefully. Let's go back over to our main graphics system so that we can show you that storm in Baldwin County. It continues to move to the north at about 30 miles per hour. Possible tornado is right here, very near US Highway 98, also near Foley and Magnolia Springs. It's really on the west side of Foley, moving towards Summerdale and Robertsdale along Alabama Highway 59. We would tell you no travel at this point on Alabama Highway 59, extending from Loxley back down to Foley. So no travel on 59. Also, no travel on US Highway 90, extending from Silver Hill all the way back over to areas near Elsinore. No travel on US Highway 90. Let's go back over to our storm in the city of Mobile and zoom in real tight. Possible tornado is going to be right here near the intersection of, say, Interstate 10, which is right here, and near the intersection with 65 right there. It's going to be a bit to the northeast of there. This is really coming through a highly populated area here in Mobile County, specifically in the city of Mobile. So again, this gets a bit confusing. We've had a tornado warning in effect for western Mobile. This one is about to go away, all right? So if you're in western Mobile, near the campus of the University of South Alabama, the cell has now moved to the north, and I would imagine because we've got so much going on, the Weather Service is going to give it a minute and then clear this out. But again, I can tell you, if you're on the campus of the University of South Alabama, the danger is much lower for you at this point. Same thing at Tillman's Corner and Theodore, all clear for now, all right? Possible tornado is moving through the southern part of the Mobile, Alabama metro area, really coming up here into the core of Midtown. This is going to be very near Crichton in a matter of moments. This is going to be Government Street right in through here. Interstate 65 is here. This is Interstate 10. And again, we're watching this situation in Mobile County very carefully, but also watching this storm over in Baldwin County as we have a possible tornado moving off to the northeast at a rapid clip, approaching Summerdale and Robertsdale from the southwest. The good news is if you're at Magnolia Springs, we'll give you an all clear. Same thing at Bon Secours, which is down here. Bon Secours, Magnolia Springs, you're in good shape at this point. Let's check our feeds here to see if we see anything in the way of damage. And tell you what, while I do that, let's actually take you back to the big view across the region. We got multiple tornado warnings happening on this Saturday evening, and we actually have a confirmed report that we have tornado damage near Magnolia Springs, all right? So confirmed tornado damage at Magnolia Springs. Numerous damage reports around Magnolia Springs of trees and power lines down. First responders are reporting a visual confirmation of a tornado touchdown over the last little bit. So that, unfortunately, is very negative news coming out of Baldwin County. The Weather Service put that tornado warning up rather quickly. Let's go back into our velocity view so that we can show you your possible tornado in Baldwin County is going to be right here, and it's moving just like that, all right? So it's moving to the northeast at a fairly rapid clip coming into Summerdale. We also note there's a separate rotation area right at Point Clear right now. That storm has no tornado warning on it as of now. But again, this storm that has moved through Magnolia Springs, which is right about here, did some damage, pretty considerable damage it appears, in the core of Magnolia Springs. Let's go back up to our storm in Mobile. The good news is the storm in Mobile County appears to be weaker. That's going to be where your possible tornado is, near Midtown, near Crichton, and really near downtown as well. This is the Mobile, Alabama metro area. And again, watching this cell in Baldwin County, because this is the one that has done damage over the last few minutes. Let's go back over to our big radar view and show you that we now are down to two separate tornado warnings for our local area. Now, keep in mind, we do have an active tornado warning for Jackson County and also for parts of Stone and Perry counties over in Mississippi. But again, we are here to cover our southwest Alabama counties, and it looks like this cell in Mobile County has weakened a bit, which is good, but again, we want to encourage folks in the city of Mobile, same thing at Pritchard, Saraland, and Satsuma, to be in your safe place. Same thing at Creola, same thing at Axis. You've got areas near 8 Mile, Pritchard, Crichton, downtown Mobile, midtown Mobile. Stay sheltered. You're not going to have to stay in that tornado shelter for long, I promise. This thing is moving like a train on a track northbound at about 30 miles per hour, so it's wasting no time. Unfortunately, the Weather Service is calling this tornado warning in Baldwin County a confirmed tornado on the ground. And so this is a situation where we know we have had damage, I should say, in Baldwin County. And watching this possible tornado now north of US Highway 98, let's go back over to our iPad view, because again, the possible tornado is going to be right here, very near the community of Summerdale. And I wouldn't be shocked over the next few minutes if we got another separate tornado warning for parts of Baldwin County near Fairhope, Daphne, maybe even Spanish Fort and Bell Forest, and for areas near Montrose. Those areas could be next to go under the gun from a tornado warning over the next little bit. Tell you what, let's go back over to our big view because we want to do a reset here for a second. It is 5:37 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and we've got multiple active tornado warnings that continue for parts of Mobile and Baldwin counties. These storms are doing damage. We have had storm damage reported over the last little bit near Magnolia Springs in Baldwin County and perhaps areas just to the east of there. The Weather Service is calling this a confirmed tornado in Baldwin County moving off to the northeast. And look, you know, I can be up here on this green wall for 17 hours straight talking about tornadoes, but it doesn't matter unless folks are getting the message. And we want folks in Baldwin County to get this message. We now have a new separate tornado warning coming on the board for parts of Baldwin County. And this is going to include areas near Spanish Fort. So again, this is a new separate tornado warning that's just now coming on the board for parts of Baldwin County in southwest Alabama. Current time is now 5:38 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and this is going to be a new separate tornado warning for parts of Baldwin County until 6:15 p.m. Let's tell you who's involved in this new warning because this is going to be a new one. And let's zoom into our storm. This gets a bit confusing because we have two separate polygons in effect. And so here's the deal. This is the old warning that was in effect for Baldwin County. Summerdale and Robertsdale, you need to be in a safe place. Stay in that tornado shelter. If you're at Magnolia Springs or Foley, we'll give you an all clear for now. There may be more warnings later, but again, Magnolia Springs and Foley, you're done for now. This separate tornado warning is going to be in effect for areas near Daphne, Montrose, and Fairhope. So again, watching the situation in Baldwin County, possible tornadoes down here near the Grand Hotel, near Point Clear, coming into areas near downtown Fairhope. And so again, downtown Fairhope, you need to be implementing that tornado safe plan right now. And look, you know, I say this all the time, but you can be the hero, all right? You can be the hero, and you need to text your people to let them know that we have a tornado warning. I practice what I preach, all right? We've got, a group message, and for my folks in the Fairhope area, they just got a message that there's a tornado warning. So look, if you know someone in Fairhope, Montrose, Daphne, Spanish Fort, tell them to be in a safe place. It just takes a text. That's all it takes. You can call them, you can text them, you can tag them in the comments below. We just want to make sure that folks are getting the message, getting a confirmation, I should say, that we have water spouts that have just been spotted near the Grand Hotel near Point Clear on a camera there looking to the north. And so what we're looking at is a situation where these cells are getting into the warm sector and moving across the warm sector, I should say, and now doing damage. And so watching this situation carefully as we have 3 separate tornado warnings, the newest of which is happening here for Fairhope, Montrose, Daphne, and Spanish Fort. Let's go into our storm in Mobile County because this one is looking a bit weaker over the last few frames. Again, we've got so many things going on. We will come back at the end of this broadcast and talk more about the damage that has transpired in southern Mobile County and in southern Baldwin County down near Magnolia Springs. But the cell that's in Mobile County appears to have weakened to the point that the Weather Service may allow this tornado warning to expire. Let's go, or be canceled, I should say. Let's go over to the Radar Scope view. Radar Scope is an app that I have nothing to do with, but they have a fantastic product that you can download and track the storms for yourself. Possible tornado is right here near Pritchard and Chickasaw, moving basically parallel to Interstate 65. This is Interstate 65 right here. That's US Highway 43. This is Interstate 165. Possible tornado is moving just like that. And so the good news is this actually may miss the population centers a bit to the east. It's going to be close, and we would encourage everyone near the campus of the University of Mobile, Chickasaw, Saraland, Satsuma, and Criolla to be in a safe place. But the good news is we can give a tornado all clear at this point to downtown Mobile, midtown Mobile, Crichton. Those areas get an all clear at this point. Let's go back over to the big radar view across the region. Let's go to our storms in Baldwin County. Good news, Magnolia Springs and Foley, you are now out of the tornado warning polygon. So again, Foley is out, Magnolia Springs is out, but this storm means business as it comes into Summerdale and areas near Robertsdale, near Alabama Highway 59. This is Alabama Highway 59 right here. You've got US Highway 90 right up here. And again, this is a situation where we want everyone near Summerdale and Robertsdale specifically, and Silver Hill, to be in a safe place. This storm has a history of doing considerable damage back around Magnolia Springs. And so this is tornado warning polygon number 2. Let's go to our other storm that's in effect for areas near Fairhope, Daphne, Montrose, and all the way up here to Bell Forest, Spanish Fort, and Bromley. Those areas under the gun from this separate tornado warning. And honestly, that is the best looking, and when I say best looking, I mean most ominous and concerning looking storm that we have on the map at this point. So let me zoom out a bit and kind of get our geographical bearings straight. This is Mobile Bay here. This is Mobile County over here. This is Baldwin County. Here's tornado warning polygon number 1. Here's tornado warning polygon number 2. And so we're encouraging everyone in Fairhope, Daphne, and Montrose to be in a safe place. You may be wondering who specifically are we talking about here when we name those communities. If you're at downtown Fairhope, it looks like the threat is going to be a bit to your west. In other words, we had a confirmation a bit ago of a water spout out over Mobile Bay, and now it looks like that's kind of lifted a bit to the north. I would say it looks like the core of this will probably be an issue for areas near Montrose and Daphne. Certainly, if you live along Mobile Bay on that scenic route, please be in a safe place. What does that mean? It means you need to get to the lowest floor of a site-built structure away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. Protect your head. That is the best possible thing you can do on this list. That applies to children and to adults. If you're an adult, you need to be protecting your head, middle part of the house, away from windows, away from doors. Daphne, Fairhope, Montrose, all the way up to Spanish Fort as well. Let's show you kind of the end of this polygon. Malbus and areas near the Eastern Shore Center, Bass Pro Shop, areas near US Highway 31. You've also got areas out here near Home Depot, Taco Mama. You've also got areas near even all the way over to the Bluegill and R&R involved in this active tornado warning there along the causeway. But again, the imminent concern is actually down here closer to Daphne and Montrose. If you're familiar with this area, you know you've got areas near one of our Red Zone Weather sponsors, Gold Mine Pawn Shop, is in through here along US Highway 98. If you live near there, you need to be in a safe place. Same thing if you are near Chick-fil-A, if you're near Target, even the Walmart involved in the tornado warning. And look, it doesn't really matter if you live within 5 miles of any of the landmarks that I'm calling out. You need to be implementing that tornado safety plan now, as we have this possible tornado, really it would be a water spout at this point, out over Mobile Bay, pushing just like that. It's moving just a little bit to the east of due north at about 30 miles per hour. And again, the concern is that this thing could come on shore and do some damage. Some good news to pass along: as of 5:45 p.m., we now have no active tornado warning for any part of Mobile County. All right, so areas near, say, downtown Mobile, Crichton, Saraland, Satsuma will give you an all clear. If you are in any part of Mobile County, Alabama, you get an all clear for now. We could have more in the way of issues later, but Mobile County gets an all clear. More good news to pass along: as of seconds ago, we're now down to 1 tornado warning. If you are in Loxley, Robertsdale, or Summerdale, we'll give you an all clear. You are done with the tornado warning for now. You may be wondering why. It's because this storm that did do damage down around Magnolia Springs, that storm has now weakened. And so you are done with the imminent tornado threat near Robertsdale, Summerdale, Magnolia Springs. We do understand that we've got 6 power poles down and also trees down apparently near Magnolia Springs. That's coming in from our NWS chat feed. We've got a live direct link to our friends at the National Weather Service. They're the ones who put out the tornado warnings. And for the folks in Daphne, you are the imminent concern at this point. If you live anywhere in Daphne, Alabama, we have a possible water spout coming in from Mobile Bay, very near Montrose, very near Fairhope. Those areas remain involved in the active tornado warning. A bit of good news to pass along, however. It does look like that the overall strength of these storms appears to be lessening somewhat. And so what that means is, hopefully, over the next 5 to 10 minutes, we'll be able to give you an all clear even along the eastern shore. But again, just because this thing is ramping down doesn't necessarily mean that it won't ramp back up. And so we still have an active tornado warning in effect for the eastern shore. This one's done, by the way. This system that we're looking at now has not updated. But just to go back to our other in-house big graphic system, I guess you could say, this one in central Baldwin County is done. This cell is below severe limits. Yes, you've got heavy rain near Silver Hill and areas near Robertsdale and Loxley along Alabama Highway 59, but you are done with the imminent tornado threat in those communities. Let's go into our storm here, our 1 tornado warning that we've got on the board. And let's see if we can kind of zoom in and find this. Right in through there at the tail end of this storm is where your water spout would be. And I mean, this is so close to the shore of Mobile Bay, and it's basically paralleling the coast. The angle of attack, per se, it's basically moving, due north, basically, maybe just a touch to the east of due north. And what that means is, for folks in Montrose or Daphne out here, specifically near the coast of Mobile Bay, you're the ones in the most danger at this point. I think looking at this data, though, there's really no question at this point. If you are in Fairhope, even though this polygon technically still includes you, there's no doubt that the danger is to your north. And so Fairhope, Alabama, Point Clear, Alabama will give you an all clear. You're done with the tornado issues for now anyway in Fairhope and Point Clear. This polygon is going to be trimmed back in a matter of moments. And again, Fairhope, Point Clear, all clear for you. If you're in Montrose or Daphne, stay sheltered. Same thing at Spanish Fort, Malbus, areas near Bell Forest and Bromley. You're involved in this active tornado warning. Let's zoom in kind of downwind of this to tell you exactly who needs to be sheltered, because this is the only tornado warning that we have on the board as of 5:49 p.m. And again, we're getting real tight on the radar display here. This is US Highway 98, main drag that goes from the interstate and areas near Home Depot down into Daphne. Daphne, Bell Forest, areas near Malbus, Spanish Fort. You've got areas near the Rouse's grocery store at the intersection right there, along 31, being a safe place. Same thing at Timber Creek, same thing at Buckingham Boulevard, same thing at Alabama Highway 181 that goes from 31 back down to Malbus and Bell Forest. We need you to be in a safe place now, all right? Be in a safe place, lowest floor, site-built structure, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. I should mention as well, we mentioned Gold Mine Pawn Shop along US Highway 98. They're a Red Zone Weather sponsor, and if you live near that pawn shop, anywhere within 5 miles of there, you need to be sheltered. Same thing up here by Rouse's. You've got another Red Zone Weather sponsor, HRT Insurance. If you live within 5 miles of there, you need to be in a safe place. This tornado is going to move just like that. It's basically moving at, say, 20 degrees. What does that mean? It means it's moving just like this. If north is 0 and, say, 90 degrees is east, it's moving basically at a 20-degree angle, just like that, up US Highway 98. And so the good news is, though, this cell continues to cycle somewhat. What you don't want to see is where you have a continuous cell that remains strong. We have really not seen that today, and we're really not expecting that as much today. But some of these cells could briefly ramp up and produce damaging tornadoes. And so, again, for folks in Daphne, Spanish Fort, Bell Forest, Malbus, stay sheltered for the next few minutes. And this is not going to be a long duration deal. Watching this situation very carefully in Baldwin County, Alabama. Let's see if we can get this image up. I actually have an image that's just been delivered that is this storm, and we still have a little bit of daylight left. Let's see, what time is it? It's 5:52. The sun goes down today at 6:05 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. And we have a view of this water spout as it happened a minute ago out over Mobile Bay. Tell you what, let me see if I can cue that up from the iPad. I'm watching this thing along Mobile Bay, pushing off to the north at a fairly rapid clip. And again, we've got a confirmation of this from the Weather Service, but in addition, we've had a great image that has been sent in of this water spout. This is going to be coming in from Ross, Dorset. And you can actually see the storm as it stands just a few seconds ago anyway. Let's go back over to our iPad view, because there it is. And it doesn't look like much. It's kind of hard to see in this image. Right there, though, that's the water spout moving just like this. All right, so this obviously is taken from the north, looking south down into this thing. And hopefully the person that took this image is in a safe place, because again, this storm would be moving just like this basically. That's the water spout that has caused all the hullabaloo over the last few minutes in Baldwin County. So again, watching this situation near Daphne very carefully. If you're in Daphne, we want you to remain in a tornado hiding place for the next few minutes. Current time, 5:53 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson. For our folks in Baldwin County, we've got many more communities that are not involved in this tornado warning, but Daphne, Malbus, Bell Forest, those communities are involved. If you're in Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, Foley, Alberta, Gateswood, Bay Minette, Stockton, areas near Tensas, this has nothing to do with you. This is a small tornado warning polygon. Baldwin County is the biggest county by area in the entire state of Alabama, and this is for a small sliver of Baldwin County. The good news is, again, we gave Fairhope an all clear about 5 minutes ago. If you're just now getting this, Fairhope gets an all clear. Same thing at Point Clear. Same thing at Montrose. If you live at Montrose, Alabama, on the shores of Mobile Bay, there it is. There's our polygon update. We'll give you an all clear. The tornado, possible tornado, has now passed you to the north, and this is moving just like this into Spanish Fort. It's a situation where the Weather Service is calling this a radar-indicated tornado. And again, getting real tight in through here just so we can kind of set the scene. Here's the city of Mobile. This has nothing to do with you if you're at the city of Mobile. Basically, from the Bluegill restaurant points back to the east, you are involved in this tornado warning. Possible tornado is going to be right here. And it looks like what's happened, this has missed the core of Daphne a bit to the west out over Mobile Bay. And again, for folks in Spanish Fort, areas near Bass Pro, areas near Home Depot, Taco Mama, Sunrise Dermatology, areas along US Highway 90, you've got Whataburger, you've got Eastern Shore Toyota, Eastern Shore Center is here, Timber Creek, the neighborhood is right here. You've got Rouse's, you've got HRT Insurance, you've got Alabama Highway 225 and the neighborhoods out here near the school. All those areas are the folks who need to be, are the folks in those areas, I should say. You need to be taking your tornado warning precautions now. You should have been taking them about 15 minutes ago, but perhaps you're just now tuning in as of 5:55 p.m. We need you to be in a tornado safe place over the next few minutes in Baldwin County. And you know what? We've actually got a really pronounced photo of this coming in. This comes from Alex McNeil, and I want to thank my friend Stephen Neal for relaying this photo to me in real time. This is looking at Mobile Bay, and you can kind of see here, this is going to be the eastern shore of Mobile Bay. You're looking north into the storm at this point. And at that particular moment, there doesn't appear to be anything down when this was taken a bit ago. But we want to thank Alex McNeil for sending in this photo along the eastern shore of Mobile Bay. And so this is that storm that produced that image that I just showed you a second ago that's now lifting off to the north just like this. Spanish Fort, you're under the gun, all right? You're really the only community under the gun because this is going to miss areas near Malbus to the west, all right? Same thing at Daphne. It looks like the core of this missed you to the west, and we'll give you, if you are in Daphne, we'll give you an all clear. You are done with the tornado threat if you're at Malbus, at Montrose, Daphne, all the way down to Fairhope. You're done. Spanish Fort is involved in this active tornado warning for the next few minutes. I suspect, based on the view here and based on the data that I am seeing on our iPad view, that this thing is probably going to end up expiring shortly. But again, this is a tornado warning and we want you to take it seriously. Look, it doesn't matter if a tornado is on the ground for 20 seconds or 20 minutes or for 2 hours. If it affects you, it's a big deal, all right? So we want you to take action and protect yourself at Spanish Fort, areas out here on the causeway, the bayway. No driving on the bayway or causeway right now, as we have a possible tornado right here moving to the north. And I'll be honest, it looks like this is probably going to miss the core of Spanish Fort, maybe a bit to the west. That's kind of a best case scenario because all this is marshland out over the southern part of the Mobile-Tensas River Delta. Possible tornado would be moving just like that. And hopefully that is what happens. That's kind of the trend. This has really hugged the western edge of this tornado warning polygon. And the cell is certainly not what it once was. But again, the Weather Service is maintaining this warning. And I think that's a good call because we will see if this ramps right back up to produce a tornado downwind of these areas that we've been talking about. Let's go back over, I should say, to the wide view across the region. Really got serious there for a minute as we had damage confirmed in Magnolia Springs, power poles down, trees down. We also had trees down in the southern part of the Mobile, Alabama metro area. And this is kind of what we were expecting today. Brief spin-up tornadoes that don't last very long, but nonetheless, they can be impactful. And it's like I said just a minute ago, if a tornado affects you, it's a big deal. And look, we have an ongoing tornado watch that continues for the next few hours. Even once we get done with this tornado warning for Spanish Fort, an ongoing tornado watch does continue for Washington, Mobile, Baldwin, and Escambia counties. In Escambia, Northwest Florida, Baldwin, Mobile, and Washington, of course, in Escambia, Alabama. Let's go back over to our current view. That was an old view. There we go. And this is the current view of the radar as of 5:59 p.m. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that's coming on the board for parts of southeast Mississippi. We'll show you that in a minute. And we actually just got a confirmation. We have a water spout that is crossing the causeway near Spanish Fort. So again, a confirmed report of a water spout happening just to the east, or excuse me, just to the west, I apologize, of Spanish Fort, right in through here is going to be where that water spout is, kind of on the back edge of this supercell thunderstorm that's moving to the north. If there's any bit of good news with this, it's that this storm has hugged the western edge of that polygon, and this storm has missed the populated areas a bit to the west, and so that certainly is a good thing. But again, I think that over the next few hours, the trend is going to be that we continue to have these intermittent storms, but once we start losing daytime heating, I expect the overall issues to begin to go away. Now, it's going to be a slow process, and we may get more warnings over the next few hours. It's not going to go away instantly, and the tornado watch does continue until 10 p.m. local time. But again, this is a situation where we're going to have the potential for more brief spin-up tornadoes over the next few minutes. By the way, we've hit 6 o'clock. It is now 7 o'clock in the east. It's 4 o'clock out west, 6 p.m. here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, where we are in the middle of tornado coverage. It's been a long day watching this whole mess of storms back here in Mississippi, and over the last hour, that's when we've had issues in our neck of the woods here in South Alabama and in parts of Escambia County, Florida, where we have an ongoing tornado watch. Let's go into our storm that we continue to follow here in Baldwin County, because this is the one that's prompted the tornado warning. It'll be interesting to see over the next few minutes if the Weather Service is going to continue this tornado warning farther to the north. If they do, it's going to be out here over the Mobile-Tensas River Delta, coming up towards the community of Bromley and also areas near Crossroads. You've got the fire stations there, the red fire stations along Alabama Highway 225, all the way up to Interstate 65 there on the last exit before you get on the Dolly Parton Bridge. Those would be the areas of main concern if the Weather Service decides to continue this tornado warning. But again, as of 6:02 p.m., we're down to one tornado warning, and this is in effect for parts of Baldwin County here in South Alabama. Really, the threat is now north of the causeway and north of the Bayway, and really out here on the western part of Spanish Fort, coming up towards these neighborhoods that are just to the west of Alabama Highway 225. This has not been a very strong storm in terms of the overall damage that it's produced. The strongest storm that I've seen today happened around Magnolia Springs. And by the way, when you see me looking over here, I'm looking at our feed from the Weather Service to see if they're going to issue a new tornado warning. Again, current time is 6:03 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, and we are here because of this tornado warning happening in Baldwin County, Alabama. Again, longtime viewers and readers know that it's just me at Red Zone Weather, and so sometimes I have to step off camera and grab a bottle of water, and I apologize for that. But that's what happens when you do long-form tornado warning coverage like we do. Again, tracking this one tornado-warned storm over the next few minutes. and getting a confirmation that this is now a tornado happening out over the Mobile-Tensaw River Delta. So again, a confirmed tornado now happening here, out here over the Mobile-Tensaw River Delta, moving to the north. Basically, this thing is going to parallel the Tensaw River out and through here. This is the Tensaw River. You got the Mobile River on this side of the delta. Here's Mobile Bay down in through here. Possible tornado is going to be moving just like that. I say possible. We're getting a confirmation that we've got a media outlet that has this live on camera pushing just like that. And so I suspect over the next few minutes we may get a new warning of sorts. Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and issue a tornado warning downwind of this. And so this is going to be a new separate tornado warning for parts of Baldwin County. And this is going to be in effect until 6:30 p.m. So again, the good news is this is a storm that remains over sparsely populated areas. And right in through here, this is the cell of concern. And it doesn't look like much on radar, but we know that there's a confirmed tornado happening now right in through here, pushing just like this. And so we're going to hang out with this and watch it over the next few minutes. There's your new warning. And this is going to be for parts of Mobile County as well. And this is actually going to be on the board until 6:45 p.m. So again, watching this situation carefully here in Baldwin County. Let's see what the Weather Service is going to do. Yeah, they're going to extend this all the way up to Stockton. And it looks like the core of this is actually going to remain out here over the Mobile-Tensaw River Delta over the next few minutes. And so if there's any bit of good news with this, it's that it's affecting an area that does not have very much population. But nonetheless, we know that folks live out here. There are folks who live on the Tensaw River. If you are near the River Pub, if you know where that is here, if you're near River Pub, you need to be sheltered. Same thing in areas near Alabama Highway 225 from the interstate all the way back down to Spanish Fort. We would encourage you to be sheltered. Let's see if we can go in quickly and give our folks in Spanish Fort an all clear. So you are done with tornado warning or a tornado warning at this point in Spanish Fort and Malbus. The threat is over for Spanish Fort and Malbus. You are done with the tornado warning in those areas. The threat has now moved to your north, and this possible tornado, and I keep saying possible tornado, we know that a tornado is down doing damage out here over the Mobile-Tensaw River Delta. And for folks along 225, Alabama Highway 225, and points back to the west, you're involved in this active tornado warning. This technically does include part of Mobile County as well. And this is Interstate 65 right here. That's Alabama Highway 225. This does include the northern portion of Alabama Highway 59 near Stockton. But again, the folks, or I should say the road that most folks know as Alabama Highway 59 is down here south of Bay Minette. Those areas are not included. This is your possible tornado moving just like this. And again, it's 6:05 p.m., 6:07 p.m. now. And what that means is we know that sunset has just happened, and so we're about to lose the visual confirmations of this. I just got an image from a really reliable source here, and let's see if we can cue that up. We've actually got a visual on the tornado. That's the last image. Let's see if we can cue up the new image here as we continue to watch this situation. All right, here's the tornado. All right, here's the actual tornado. And I want to thank Vicki Williamson for sending in this photo. This is obviously the Bayway right here, which is Interstate 10. That's the thing that has prompted the reason for our coverage this evening. That's a tornado doing damage out over the Mobile-Tensaw River Delta, pushing off to the north. That could be a separate funnel cloud. It's hard to know exactly, but this is the concern. That is an actual tornado doing damage. And again, we want to thank Vicki Williamson for this photo coming in over the last few minutes, looking to the north out over the Mobile-Tensaw River Delta. And so it's been quite impressive over the last few hours. We've had a ton of confirmation images with these storms, and we want to thank everyone who sent in these damage photos and the confirmation photos showing the actual tornadoes happening. Let's do a reset here as we've now passed 6 o'clock. It's now, what time is it? 6:08 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, and we are tracking a possible tornado out over the Mobile-Tensas River Delta, pushing off to the north. That is the only tornado warning that we have on the board as of 6:08 p.m. We have an ongoing tornado watch that continues for Washington, Mobile, Baldwin, and Escambia County. Escambia in Florida, the other 3 in southwest Alabama. Several tornado warnings noted over the last hour back here in southeast Mississippi. And we have had Polygon Palooza over the last few hours in terms of all these tornado warnings in our part of the world. And again, current time is now 6:09 p.m. Let's go back over to that image. This is from Vicki Williamson. This is looking from Spanish Fort back toward Pritchard. And so this is the Bayway right here, Interstate 10. Downtown Mobile would be over here. This would be the Mobile-Tensas River Delta. The storm is moving just like that. And so that tornado is moving like that. This is what you need to be aware of if you live near the River Pub, near the community of Crossroads, and near Alabama Highway 225 in Baldwin County. Let's go back over to our radar system. And you see this southern polygon down here. This one's done, all right? This one's totally done. Daphne, Spanish Fort, Malbus, all clear. This is off of the board at this point. The system has not updated just yet. Again, y'all know the drill. Just pardon me if I go silent, because we've got, as I always say, 400,000 things coming into the studio. Again, thank you to everyone who sent in photos today. We certainly appreciate that. And I tell you what, this has been a long day with tornado warnings back in Mississippi. Yeah, and again, for folks that are in Fairhope, you've been done with this tornado warning. Just seeing some comments here. Fairhope, Point Clear, Foley, this has nothing to do with you at this point. This is strictly for areas near Alabama Highway 225 and the Mobile-Tensas River Delta. Let's see if we can go over to the velocity view on this storm, because again, this has weakened, there's no doubt about it, over the last few minutes. And let's see if we can put this in motion, because that was your cell right here that prompted the tornado warning for the Mobile-Tensas River Delta. By the way, if you're in Mobile, this has nothing to do with you, absolutely nothing to do with you in Mobile, in Pritchard, in Chickasaw, Saraland, Satsuma, Crichton, Midtown, Downtown. You are fine. The issues are over here to your west, out over the Mobile-Tensas River Delta. And back over to the radar we go. Again, it's unfortunate that we're losing daylight in a situation like this, because the best possible thing that we can show on the air in a situation like this are these, incredible images that we've had sent in. Again, this was the best one that we've had all day. This was from Vicki Williamson looking back toward Mobile and Pritchard. This is the Bayway here. This is looking back from Spanish Fort and Daphne, looking off into the storm. Storm would be moving just like that to the north. And again, thanks to Vicki Williamson for sending in that photo. The good news is I really don't see any other storms that are prompting imminent concerns anyway across our local area. Now, no doubt about it, we have ongoing pockets of heavy rain and areas that could be producing gusty winds, but the only tornado-warned storm is this thing out over the Delta, Mobile-Tensas River Delta, pushing off to the north. Again, while we watch that radar view, I do want to remind everyone that we do have an ongoing tornado watch for Washington, Mobile, Baldwin, and Escambia County in Florida, that is, not Escambia, Alabama. Current time 6:13 p.m. We're down to one tornado warning, and let's see if we can find it. It's going to be tough because this has moved out over a very, very sparsely populated area. Really, the threat is south of the Dolly Parton Bridge. This is the Mobile River. This is the Tensaw River. This is the Middle River. This is now north of the Causeway, and so you are looking at a very sparsely populated area. The tornado warning does include areas near the community of Crossroads, Hurricane Landing. This is Alabama Highway 225. This does include the Dolly Parton Bridge. No travel at this point on the Dolly Parton Bridge. That's the span of the interstate that's included in this tornado warning from the Creola exit, which I believe is exit 22, all the way back over to Stockton and Bay Minette. We don't want you traveling on 65 ahead of this possible tornado as it continues to move to the north. And tell you what, let's zoom out to our local area. We note that there's a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect back over in Mississippi. And getting now another report. We may be about to get another tornado warning, unfortunately, for southern Mobile County. And I apologize that I'm clearing my throat. I've had somewhat of a cold over the last few days. This cell near Bayou La Battery continues to rotate. And it does look like that we could get a tornado warning over the next little bit. Hey, some good news to pass along. At this moment, we are out of tornado warnings. There are no active tornado warnings. This thing in Baldwin and Mobile County, it's done. And so at this moment, as of 6:15 p.m., for the first time in a long time, we are now without a tornado warning. And so that certainly is a good thing. This thing back over Mississippi, that's mighty suspicious. The Weather Service has triggered a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Greene County due to that area of circulation near Beaumont that's coming into Greene County from the west. But again, the cell in Mobile County, or Baldwin County, I should say, is now done. And so as of 6:15 p.m. on this Saturday evening, we are now without any tornado warnings across South Alabama or Northwest Florida. Let's talk about what's happening now, and let's talk about what you can expect over the next few minutes as we have ongoing cells that continue to stream in from the Gulf of Mexico. So let's talk about what's happening now first. We've got heavy pockets of rain in northern Mobile County, out here towards Tolmanville, areas near Citronelle. You've also got storms streaming in from the Gulf of Mexico into Mobile and Baldwin counties. Let's see if we can actually go back over to our velocity view, because at the present point, the most impressive signature that I am seeing is happening here south of Gulf Shores. Let's do a measurement on that. That's going to be about 10 miles. Yeah, about 10 miles on the dot. South of Gulf Shores, this storm could prompt another separate tornado warning for parts of Baldwin County over the next, say, 30 minutes. That's one to watch, but again, no warnings out right now. No tornado warnings as of 6:17 p.m. Separate storm down here way south of the warm front. All these cells are in the warm sector down here. The good news is, after we get through, say, 8 o'clock tonight, the overall severe weather threat will go down as we will be losing daytime heating. Now, there's other factors at play here, but the good news is, at this point, no active tornado warnings. Let's go into our storm in southern Mobile County. We had some chasers looking at this, but I'll be honest, it doesn't look particularly impressive, and I take that back. The Weather Service is saying that they've got new reports, and they're going to go ahead and trigger a new tornado warning. And so just like that, 6:18 p.m., we got a new tornado warning in effect for Mobile County until 7 p.m. local time. So again, 7 p.m., new tornado warning coming on the board for parts of Mobile County. And for folks that are watching us in the city of Mobile, you've got to go back in that tornado hiding place as we have yet another tornado warning. Chasers reporting that we have rotation here in the southern part of Mobile County, pushing just like that. And so if I call you out, you are now under a separate tornado warning, a new tornado warning, in other words, that's just been issued. Beulah Battery, Theodore, Irvington, Tillman's Corner, the campus of the University of South Alabama, the city of Mobile. It doesn't matter specifically where you are in the city of Mobile, Alabama, you need to be sheltered. Same thing at Midtown, same thing at Pritchard, areas out here near the campus of the University of Mobile, back down to Baker High School, Mobile Regional Airport, at Theodore, Tillman's Corner. All those areas involved in this new separate tornado warning that's just been issued, valid until 7 o'clock. Let's zoom in real tight and also mention that this does include Dixon's Corner. In fact, Dixon Corner, Fernland, and Irvington, those are going to be the first communities in line to see this possible tornado moving just like that. And so these are very brief tornadoes, not lasting very long at all, but nonetheless, this is now an observed tornado. So again, the Weather Service is calling this a confirmed tornado near Beulah Battery, moving off to the north at about 25 miles per hour. And so on that trajectory, this is going to be an issue for areas near US Highway 98 and also Interstate 10. We would tell you no travel at this point on Interstate 10 extending from Grand Bay all the way back over to downtown Mobile. No travel on Interstate 10. Same thing on Interstate 65 from exit 1 and the intersection with Interstate 10 all the way back up to Satsuma. No travel on Interstate 65. 6:20 p.m. and entering our well into our second hour of tornado warning coverage here, as we have an ongoing situation where we have a tornado in southern Mobile County. Let's go back over to the iPad view, and I think you'll be able to see this a little bit better. It's so hard to see on the reflectivity view, which is your classic radar view. Right in through there, it's tough to see, but right in through there is where we believe there is a tornado happening near Beulah Battery, near Grand Bay, lifting off to just to the east of due north. This thing's rocking and rolling at about 25 miles per hour off to the north. And also at Dog River, Theodore, the areas near Navco, you're involved in this new tornado warning as well. You need to be implementing that tornado safety plan. Fernland, Irvington, Theodore, you're next in line. And again, this is just hard to track. I mean, I wish I could tell you, man, there's a point on this radar where we see a tornado on the ground, but on velocity, it's really tough. Let's go back over to our debris tracker and see if we can see anything there. That often is a more clear-cut indicator. And right in through there, that could be a debris signature, but it's not well defined enough for me to actually say for sure that it is. In other words, we don't really see a couplet on radar. There is rotation there, there's no doubt about it, but what we like to see when we're calling a tornado debris signature is when you see a couplet on this view, velocity, combined with a lowering in the correlation coefficient. And that's kind of what gives us an indication that a tornado is doing damage based on radar. But again, the confirmation from this particular storm is due to storm spotters in the area suggesting that there is a tornado down. And so watching this situation very carefully in Mobile County. And you know what? We've actually got a separate cell that's happening here near Mobile Regional Airport. The Weather Service is calling this a confirmed tornado as well. So a little bit of a confusing situation here. We have one tornado polygon on the board, but we have two separate storms. So in other words, one down here towards Bayou La Battery, the Weather Service noting that we have another separate confirmed tornado near the campus of, or I should say near Mobile Regional Airport, moving just like that. And I'm really concerned because that could be a storm that prompts the Weather Service themselves to take shelter. In other words, the folks that issue these tornado warnings are located in the middle of that circle. That's Mobile Regional Airport, and we will see if they have to take shelter themselves. And by the way, if that happens, the procedure in place is our warnings would then be issued by the National Weather Service in Slidell or New Orleans, and so they would take over while NWS Mobile has to take shelter. And so again, tracking two separate confirmed tornadoes this evening in Mobile County, one of which is happening here near the Mobile Regional Airport. The other is down here near Grand Bay and Bayou La Battery, and these storms are both moving just a little bit to the east of due north, just like that. We also note there's another area of rotation approaching Tillman's Corner. Let's put this in motion. And again, watching this situation very carefully, it has been a day with several tornado warnings over the last hour in our part of the world. Again, current time 6:24 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson. And for folks that are in Irvington, Bayou La Battery, areas near Coden, also Grand Bay, areas near Tillman's Corner, Theodore, areas near Mobile Regional Airport, the University of South Alabama, Airport Boulevard, Government Boulevard, or Government Street, I should say. Also areas here near US Highway 90 in Mobile County. Be in a safe place. This warning polygon does include the city of Mobile. So if you know anyone in the city of Mobile, Alabama, you need to call them, text them, tag them in the comments below, as we have a situation with multiple confirmed tornadoes here according to the National Weather Service. This warning is in effect until 7 o'clock. And we will see if these storms maintain their strength. While we watch our tornado warning, I also want to show you that we do have an ongoing line of thunderstorms approaching from the west. This is Interstate 59 back here in Mississippi. Line of thunderstorms is in parts of Stone and Harrison counties back here in Mississippi. This is the marker that marks the end of these severe weather risks. So in other words, this line of thunderstorms has to move completely through our area before we give you a complete all clear. Now, the good news is we will be getting somewhat of a reduction, most likely, in the overall severe weather setup we're now after sunset. So over the next hour, I expect the overall intensity of these storms potentially to go down. Now keep in mind, we have a warm front basically layered across our region, pushing off to the north, and that's going to allow warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico to continue to move inland. So there's several kind of competing factors here that's going to help us ascertain exactly how strong these thunderstorms will be over the next few minutes. But let's go into our storms in Mobile County. That's the reason that we are here. Again, current time is 6:27 p.m., tracking three separate storms in this one tornado polygon. And again, this gets a bit confusing because for folks near the campus of the University of South Alabama, near Mobile Regional Airport, Baker High School, Seven Hills, Orchard neighborhood is here. This is Sims. All those areas are near a possible tornado, and this thing is very near the Mobile Regional Airport, moving just like that. I'm very concerned about that storm, again, because that's where NWS Mobile is, the National Weather Service. So I would imagine that they're implementing their protocol to take shelter themselves. Separately, we're also tracking another area of concern here near Irvington and Theodore. That could be producing a tornado, possible tornado there. And we're watching a separate storm down here on the southern side of the county move just like that towards Irvington as well, and Interstate 10 and US Highway 98. No travel at this point on I-10 or 98. You see kind of a hook right in through there. That could be indicative. In fact, I'll tell you what, this thing near the interstate has really ramped up. Let's go back over to our iPad view, because this is one of the best signatures that I've seen in the last hour. You know, we've had so many warnings, but I tell you, that thing right there near Theodore, I wouldn't be shocked if that's doing damage. That is a couplet that could be doing extensive damage. And I tell you, that could be debris that's being lofted into the sky in southern Mobile County, very near the community of Theodore. So again, possible tornado near Tillman's Corner and Theodore. This one is going to cross the interstate and move just like that. 2 other areas of rotation noted in this tornado warning polygon. Separately, let me show you those quickly on the velocity view. I tell you, that is some tight rotation in through there near Theodore, and that could be a tornado that's doing damage near Theodore. That continues to ramp up and grab my attention. No travel, and I mean no travel, on Interstate 10 from Grand Bay all the way up to the intersection there with 65 on Interstate 10. Do not be traveling, all right? If you know someone that would be traveling on I-10 or US Highway 98 near Theodore at this hour, or within 5 miles of Theodore or Tillman's Corner, you call them, you text them, you tag them now in the comments below, as this means business. This is a very serious storm that could be doing damage coming to the north just like that. Let's check on our other area of rotation in the southern end of the county. And you see this storm that has the hook like that. That is a broadly rotating storm, but I tell you, the velocity on that is certainly not what it once was. Clearly, the main element here is going to be this one, right in through here, coming into Tillman's Corner. Getting a report from a storm chaser in the area that there are strong winds being reported in this storm near Theodore. And again, storm chasers confirming what we see on radar, that we could have a tornado on the ground near Theodore now, all right? This thing is moving just like that. And so on that trajectory, this is going to come into West Mobile. Be sheltered if you're in West Mobile or areas near the Mobile Regional Airport. Unfortunately, this is a deal where these cells are kind of training over the same areas. And so while we never want to have to tell you to come out of your hiding place from a tornado and then go back in it, that's what you got to do tonight. I know we've had a cell earlier here. The Weather Service now calling this a confirmed tornado as well. And so we've shifted from a possible tornado, the Weather Service upgrading the warning and calling this a confirmed tornado happening near Theodore, Alabama, doing damage, lofting debris into the air. And this is moving just like that. And on that trajectory, this is going to be in West Mobile over the next few minutes. And so campus of the University of South Alabama, if you have a student on the campus, I was a college kid once as well, and I probably didn't do as good of a job as I do now, obviously, of paying attention to tornado warnings. If you're a mom or a dad or any relative of someone that would be on the campus of USA, call them and let them know they need to go ahead and get sheltered, as this thing is going to be moving to the north at a fairly rapid clip at 6:31 p.m. I tell you, we've seen more participation, per se, in the storm chaser world today than I've seen in a very long time. And, we never, ever, ever want somebody who's not, taken the classes and gotten the education to be a storm chaser to do that. But these are professional folks that we've got in our chat, in NWS chat, that are reporting all this information. And so we want to thank our storm spotters as well as folks at the National Weather Service. And you know what? The Weather Service actually just sent me a message. They did take shelter, as I speculated a minute ago, from this storm now in the northern part of Mobile, or I should say the central part of Mobile County. They are now out of their tornado hiding place as the cell has moved to the north out here towards Sims. And so again, a separate storm, same tornado warning polygon, near Orchard and near Sims, coming into areas near Lott. Those 3 communities, you need to be in your tornado safe place now, as we have a possible tornado on the south side of US Highway 90 moving just like that. And so we will see if the Weather Service decides to extend this warning to the north out towards Mauvilla over the next few minutes. But it's kind of confusing because we have two separate storms here. The other is in this polygon, in this tornado warning polygon, and this one, it really means business. We see it on radar. We've got spotters in the area saying that we've got a possible tornado near Tillman's Corner and Theodore on the north side of Interstate 10, probably right in through there. You can kind of see a notch right here. This is sort of an S-shaped storm if you look at it like that. Inflow notch, and then you've got rotation. This is just a rotating thunderstorm that could be producing a damaging tornado near Theodore. And we will see if the Weather Service decides to extend this tornado warning to the north. Let's actually go back over to our velocity view and show you that we do see cells down here in the Gulf of Mexico that are about, say, 15 miles to the south of Dauphin Island and Fort Morgan. Those are going to be pushing just like that. And so we'll have to see if those maintain their strength. If they do, we may need to get another tornado warning posted eventually for parts of Baldwin County. So again, you're not out of the woods just yet. Even though you've had a break, you're not out of the woods in Baldwin County just yet. And so we want to, again, encourage folks in Baldwin, Washington, and Escambia County, Escambia and Northwest Florida, remain vigilant as we have an ongoing tornado watch. The only tornado warning that we've got on the board right now anyway is for parts of Mobile County in southwest Alabama. And so we would encourage you, if you're in the city of Mobile, to maintain that tornado's safe place over the next few minutes as we continue to track a possible tornado pushing off to the north. Current time is 6:35 p.m. And again, just looking at our reports here, thank you to everyone who has sent in photos over the last hour before we lost daylight at sunset. I want to thank you for doing that very much. It has been an incredible day with numerous sightings of funnel clouds and tornadoes across the region. Fortunately and thankfully, I have heard no reports of injuries at this point, so that certainly is a good thing as we continue to track these possible tornadoes in Mobile County. And I'm using the plural form there because looking at this, it is just very difficult to ascertain exactly where that northern rotation is, but looking at it on reflectivity, probably right in through here. But again, confidence is a bit lower than normal because when we have a tornado warning anyway, because it's just hard to see on radar. This is so close to the Mobile radar site, and the velocities on this just have not been super impressive. These are low top storms, basically low top showers in some cases, and this is about to cross US Highway 90 if it's not there already. So again, near Sims, we would encourage you to stay sheltered. Same thing at Orchard. We'll be able, hopefully, to give you an all clear in Orchard soon. Yeah, and getting a report down here in Theodore on the southern side of this polygon that we have a storm spotter in the area that is noting that we have seen some rotation, but currently no touchdown at this point. So that certainly is a good thing. But look, this thing could ramp up so quickly. One of the videos that I share during all these school presentations that I do across the region is a video of a storm that happened down in Fort Walton Beach a few years ago. No warning for Fort Walton Beach, by the way. But the storm that happened there a few years ago produced a tornado intermittently. It cycled up and down, and that's what we could be seeing in these storms in Mobile County. And so we want to encourage you in Irvington, in Theodore, in Tillman's Corner, be in a safe place, as we have a cell moving by that could ramp up and produce a tornado over the next few minutes. Current time is 6:37 p.m. This warning goes on the board until 7 o'clock local time. And tell you what, let's look out across the region because we want to see what else we've got upcoming. Other than this ongoing tornado situation in Mobile County, we note that there are 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of southeast Mississippi, specifically Greene and Wayne counties over in southeast Mississippi near the state line. We also note that we've got rotating thunderstorms coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. It remains to be seen if these thunderstorms will prompt tornado warnings. That certainly is a possibility over the next hour or so as these thunderstorms continue to push off to the north. But at this moment anyway, the only warning that we've got is in effect for Mobile County, Alabama. Tillman's Corner, Lott, Sims, Theodore. You're the main areas of concern right now. And that may seem, kind of strange because those communities are here and here, kind of a separate deal going on. This is storm number 1. This is storm number 2. That's why you've got kind of the difference there. This is the one that we're focused on, though, this southern storm that's going to be coming into the campus of the University of South Alabama over the next few minutes. And this really is going to be an issue for the western part of the city of Mobile, Alabama. And so what we would tell you, stay sheltered in West Mobile over the next few minutes. And I tell you, that thing has ramped up fairly quickly on the velocity display. So again, just to get your geographical bearings straight, the Mobile Regional Airport is up here, the X right there. This is your possible tornado. And this thing is probably on the ground with this signature. Looking at this on the velocity view, very well could have a tornado down on the western part of the Mobile Metro, perhaps near Tillman's Corner, and it's moving just like that, north at about 25 miles per hour. Let's see if we can look at a few other sources here to see what we've got going on. Again, thanks to everyone who sent in these damage photos earlier and tornado photos as well. Watching this situation in Mobile County as we have a possible tornado near Tillman's Corner, Alabama. The cell is moving off to the north, and it's a very isolated cell in nature. Let's check on southern Baldwin County while we're here. We do note that we've got rotation on the board near Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. That storm is below severe limits for now, but that's going to be one that we have to watch over the next hour as we continue to track these cells pushing off to the north at a fairly rapid clip. Current time is 6:40 p.m. And hopefully we will start to lose some of the convective available potential energy, or CAPE, and hopefully these storms will weaken. But I tell you, the environment in through here is certainly supportive for the potential for a few more tornadoes. And so don't let your guard down. We're not done with this just yet. Have a way to get the warnings over the next few hours. Yeah, and we're getting reports that the storm in southern Mobile County continues to show signs of rotation as it continues pushing off to the north. Let's put our radar into motion so you can get an idea of just how many tornado warnings we have had over the last few hours. I can't even count them. Let's try counting at least 3 or 4 over the last hour. And so it's been an active time in parts of Mobile and Baldwin counties here in southwest Alabama. And again, a bit of good news. We expect the overall severe weather threat to become a bit less pronounced over the next few hours as we start to lose daytime heat content. Let me see if I can step off camera briefly because I want to show you the convective outlook that we have ongoing, because I think this does a pretty good job of illustrating the overall setup that we're looking at. Yeah, here we go. And so look, where we have the level 2 risk, Washington, Mobile, Baldwin counties, where we have the tornadoes, in those areas. Once this system moves a bit to the east, it's going to come into a part of the atmosphere that is less volatile and less conducive for strengthening. All right, so that's a good thing. As this system continues pushing off to the east, most likely this will be in a situation where, or in a part of the atmosphere, I should say, where conditions will become less favorable. We'll go back over to our big radar view. And let's go into our storm in Mobile County as the Weather Service is continuing this tornado warning for parts of central Mobile County. A confirmed tornado located 4 miles west of Theodore, moving northeast at approximately 25 miles per hour. And so again, looking at this situation where right in through here, we have a possible tornado near Interstate 10, near US Highway 90. And it looks like we actually have a storm on the back side of this that actually could be strengthening as well. This could be a separate tornado that's going to move into Dawes over the next few minutes. And so the main part of this storm is over Tillman's Corner and through here, but another circulation on the back flank of this appears to be strengthening. And so that's going to move just like this towards Mobile Regional Airport. It's important to note that, if you're in a tornado warning polygon, you need to be taking action to protect yourself. Regardless of where you are in this polygon, you need to be sheltered. The city of Mobile, Crichton, Pritchard, 8 Mile, the campus of USA, Orchard remain sheltered. I can tell you this, the storm up here near Lott and Sims has moved out of the polygon, and the Weather Service has opted not to extend the tornado warning into northern Mobile County, and so that certainly is a good thing. So what we would tell you, if you're at Lott, you're in better shape. Same thing at Sims. But again, the southern part of this polygon is where we're having the problems right now. Tillman's Corner, Theodore, the campus of USA, Mobile Regional, Azalea Road, areas out here near Airport Boulevard, US Highway 90, Interstate 65, from Satsuma all the way back down to where it comes into Interstate 10 near Navco. You're under the gun if I just called you out from these possible tornadoes. 6:45 p.m. as we continue to track kind of a muddied situation with this ongoing tornado warning polygon. And let's go back over to our velocity view, because I tell you, I think that southern circulation appears to be becoming a bit more dominant right in through here out towards Dawes, coming into areas near Seven Hills, and ultimately going to come into areas near the Mobile Regional Airport over the next little bit. As we continue to track these possible tornadoes in Mobile County. Let's look elsewhere across the region. I want to go back to our storm coming on shore at the Alabama beaches, because that one has exhibited signs of rotation, and I tell you, that has really ramped up. I'm putting you on notice, if you're in southern Baldwin County, be ready for a possible tornado warning. Foley, Bon Secour, Gulf Shores, areas near Alberta, Summerdale, areas even all the way over here to Magnolia Springs and Bon Secour. I would just be ready, because this storm means business as it moves to the north. No warning for Baldwin at this point, but that could be another storm that we have to watch over the next little bit. Again, we were watching this storm in Mobile County, kind of some back development here on the back flank of this storm that appears to be strengthening. And again, multiple tornadoes are possible in this polygon. Got a new tornado warning. This is going to be for southeast Mississippi. We'll show you that real quick. Here's a tornado warning that's now in effect for parts of Greene, Wayne, and also you've got parts of Perry County involved in this tornado warning. This is Perry, this is Greene, this is Wayne. Possible tornado is going to be right here pushing towards ultimately Waynesboro in Wayne County there over the next little bit. But again, the reason we are here is because of this possible tornado near Tillman's Corner and Theodore. I tell you, you've been in a hot spot today. If you've been in Theodore or Tillman's Corner, we've been here, goodness, I don't know how long we've been here, but we've been here tracking these storms over the last several hours and watching this situation carefully. Some back burner development here. Rotation in through here, near Dawes, coming into Seven Hills, and ultimately Mobile Regional. Separate circulation approaching USA. That one's a bit more broad at this point, but nonetheless, if you're on the campus of South Alabama, we would encourage you to be in a safe place. Getting some reports of power flashes happening in Mobile County due to this, right in through here. The Weather Service noting that this storm south of Seven Hills and near Dawes really means business. I mean, this storm has really ramped up to the point where we could have a tornado down, and we would tell you, if you're in Dawes, Seven Hills, areas near Mobile Regional, we would encourage you, please be in a safe place, as we have a a situation where we have a potential tornado on the ground from what I'm understanding here. We'll see if the Weather Service puts that out in an official product. Got some storm spotters in the area alluding to the potential that we could have a sizable tornado down near Dawes and also near Seven Hills, coming into Seven Hills in Mobile County. Let's zoom in real tight. There's Dawes that we've been talking about. That circle on the map, this is Mobile Regional Airport. Seven Hills is here. That's the campus of USA. This is Interstate 10 down here. This does not include Dees or Union Church. If you're in those two communities, you're out of the tornado warning polygon. But again, Irvington, Theodore, Tillman's Corner, you are included in this tornado warning that continues for the next little bit for Mobile County. Let's go back over to our storm in Baldwin County. And I tell you, there's no official warning out for this, but I tell you, that could be, we could get a tornado warning in through here for parts of Baldwin County, as well as if we don't have enough going on over in Mobile County. Just beware if you're in Gulf Shores or Foley, if you know someone in those areas, Gulf Shores or Foley, I would text them and tell them, hey, heads up, you may get a tornado warning over the next few minutes as this storm continues to come on shore. Again, the official warning, though, at this moment anyway, is out for Mobile County. Storm spotters noting that we have a tornado down now in southern Mobile County near Dawes, coming into areas near Mobile Regional. That right there could be a debris ball on radar. Let's see if we can look at the debris tracker product and see if indeed that is debris that's being lofted into the sky, because I tell you, that wouldn't be the most surprising thing that I've seen in a situation like this. Yeah, that's tornado debris. There's no doubt about it. Let's go back over to our iPad view. We got a tornado down in Mobile County right now near Dawes. If you know anyone in Seven Hills or Dawes, you text them now. You stop whatever you're doing. This is a big deal, and we would encourage you, if you're at Dawes, you need to be in a tornado-safe place. Tag them in the comments below. We want to get this information out to as many folks as we possibly can in Dawes, in Seven Hills, in areas near the Mobile Regional Airport, as we have a confirmed tornado on the ground located 5 miles west of Tillman's Corner. Getting reports of high winds happening in Tillman's Corner now, actually. And I tell you, let's go back over to our big radar view. I realize that's a bit noisy behind me. There's your polygon, and this has been trimmed back. If you're in Theodore, you are okay right now. This storm has now passed to your north. Here's Theodore. We'll give you a temporary tornado all clear if you're at Theodore. But nonetheless, the danger continues on the western side of the Mobile Regional, or excuse me, of the Mobile, Alabama metro area, as a possible tornado is moving just like this, a bit to the east of due north. This is on a beeline towards the Mobile Regional Airport and toward the campus of the University of South Alabama. Here's our new tornado warning coming on the board for Baldwin, and again, this is going to be a separate new tornado warning that is in the process of being issued now. You're hearing it in the background come on the board. This is for Baldwin County, Alabama, and this is going to be a separate new tornado warning that has just been issued. This is going to be a call to action, in effect, valid until 7:30 local time for Baldwin County, and we're going to go ahead and send that out in our Red Zone Weather app. If you are a part of our app club in Baldwin County, you just got an alert that we have a new active tornado warning in effect for Baldwin County, and there it is. So, new call to action if you are in Gulf Shores, areas near Jack Edwards Airport, Foley, Summerdale, Robertsdale. We need you to be in a tornado-safe place. Possible tornado is happening near Gulf Shores, moving just like that. And so on this trajectory, it's basically going to be paralleling Alabama Highway 59. And so again, we would tell you no travel at this point on Alabama Highway 59, extending from Robertsdale all the way back down to Gulf Shores. You can't be traveling on Alabama Highway 59 as we have a separate tornado warning that's just come on the board. Again, if I call you out, you're involved in this new tornado warning in Baldwin County. Gulf Shores, areas near Jack Edwards Airport. You've also got areas near the water park, Bon Secour, this is Alabama Highway 59. Foley is here. Mifflin, you are involved. Same thing at Alberta. You are involved in this new tornado warning in effect until 7:30 local time. This is going to be on the fringe of Magnolia Springs, but I tell you, if you're in Magnolia Springs, this is so close that I would be in my tornado safe place. Same thing at Summerdale and Robertsdale. Again, this is Alabama Highway 59. This is US Highway 98. This is US Highway 90, Baldwin County, Alabama. Let's make it happen south of the interstate in those areas that I just called out, as we have a new tornado warning that's just come on the board for Baldwin County, Alabama. Be in that tornado safe place. Let's go back up to our storm in Mobile County, because this is a separate storm that could be doing damage in parts of Mobile County. Dawes, Seven Hills, Mobile Regional Airport, campus of the University of South Alabama, Azalea Road, areas near Airport Boulevard, Spring Hill, also Crichton, Orchard Neighborhood, Pritchard. You are involved in this tornado warning happening in Mobile County, Alabama, valid until 7:15 p.m. We are coming up on 7 o'clock. And at the top of the hour, we'll kind of do a reset across the area and tell you what's happening where you live. But at the moment, we need to keep focusing on our storms here in Mobile and Baldwin counties. That's the reason we are here, tracking these storms in Mobile and Baldwin counties. Let's go back to our storm in Baldwin County, because this is the newer one that's just come on the board. Possible tornadoes near Oyster Bay. This is the Intracoastal Waterway right here. Bon Secour, you're involved in in this tornado warning as well. This does include Foley, and so if you're at Foley, be in a safe place. And you know, like I always say, it's so important for us to get the message out. You can be the hero. If you know someone in this tornado warning polygon, we want you to text them, tag them, call them, do whatever you need to do to get this information to your folks. If they're in Foley, if they're in Bon Secour, same thing at Alberta. Be in a safe place. Just looking at our NWS chat feed, we have a new tornado warning that's just been issued for Mobile County. So this is a new one, a separate one that has just come on the board for Mobile County. I tell you, Mobile County has had a ton of tornado warnings over the last several hours, and it's not over yet. Simply put, it's not over yet. And look, I realize, especially if you've got kids, you know, we're getting into the night hours, it's bedtime for the kids and all that, but we need you to take action right now if you're on the western part of the Mobile, Alabama metro area, as that area is under the gun from this new tornado warning. Possible tornado is here near Seven Hills and Dawes. This is going to be on top of the Mobile Regional Airport in a matter of moments. And so what we would tell you is get to a safe place immediately. Same thing at Baker High School if you live within 5 miles of Baker High School. Same thing at the campus of the University of South Alabama. Be in a safe place. I realize if you're, a college student and it's Saturday night, it's supposed to be the night of the week that we all get to, go out and have fun, but that's not the case tonight. We need to take this seriously and be in a tornado safe place if you're on the campus of South. This does, I believe, include, there's the University of Mobile, certainly inside this tornado warning polygon. Satsuma, Saraland, Mauvilla, areas out here near Sims also involved in this new separate tornado warning, valid until 7:45 p.m. Again, thank you to everyone who continues to send in photos. It's not that we don't want to show the damage photos, but we have to stay with these tornado warnings while we have an imminent concern. And the Weather Service is noting that this is now a confirmed tornado in Baldwin County. So again, a confirmed tornado happening near Bon Secour. This is a tornado warning, but you got to understand, this is no longer a radar indicated tornado. We have a tornado on the ground coming into Bon Secour and areas near Foley, at this point. And so be in a safe place if you're at Foley, Alberta, Mifflin, Summerdale, or Robertsdale, even Elsinore, all the way up to Elsinore. You are involved in this active tornado warning, valid until 7:45 local time. If you're in Orange Beach, this has nothing to do with you. Same thing along the eastern shore. Montrose, Daphne, Fairhope, Point Clear, Spanish Fort. You're okay. This is specifically for areas near Foley and Bon Secours. You're involved in an active tornado warning that's valid until 7:45 local time. Look at the hook on radar. That is a classic tornado signature. We've had several tornadoes today, and this one certainly means business as it moves off to the north. Current time coming up on 7 o'clock at 6:58 p.m. Tracking a separate tornado warning storm here in Mobile County, where we could have a tornado very near the Mobile Regional Airport right now. We'll zoom in real tight. Possible tornado is basically near or on top of the Mobile Regional Airport. Thinking about this area, of course, you have Airport Boulevard, infamous for traffic jams. You've also got areas near the Publix. You've got all these shopping centers out here in the western part of the Mobile Metro. And I tell you, that thing is right over Mobile Regional at this point. Here's the campus of the University of South Alabama. Be sheltered. Look, again, I realize you've been in that shelter a lot tonight. It's been one of those nights that's, overperformed in terms of the number of tornado warnings. But if you're on the campus of the University of South Alabama, we need you to be in that tornado safe place now, as we have a possible tornado near Mobile Regional pushing just like that. It may miss the campus by a mile or two, but there's a ton of apartment complexes on this side of the campus, and certainly if you're in those apartment complexes, get to the lowest floor of a site-built structure. Of course, you're in a site-built structure if you're in an apartment. You can't be driving, all right? No driving on any of the roadways in through here. Spring Hill, you've also got Airport Boulevard, US Highway 90, Getting a report from the Weather Service, this is something you never want to see. The folks at the Weather Service are taking shelter. They're in their shelter, all right? So it's a big deal if the folks at the National Weather Service, the folks who issue the warnings, they sit right there where you see KMOB. That's the radar site itself. If you're familiar with this area, when you go into the airport, there's a golf ball looking thing on top of a tower, big, dome, and radome, I should say, and that is where the Weather Service is. They put out the warnings. They're taking shelter, meaning if you're within 5 miles of Mobile Regional Airport, you should be taking shelter as well. Campus of the University of South Alabama is here. This is Airport Boulevard right in through here. Again, this thing's moving to the north pretty quickly, so we want you to be sheltered. By the way, I mentioned earlier that I thought NWS Slidell or New Orleans took over. It's actually NWS Tallahassee that's now putting out our warnings while our friends at the National Weather Service are doing their thing, doing what they preach, taking shelter right now. NWS Tallahassee in charge of our warnings. They've got a seamless process that allows them to issue these warnings, office to office seamlessly. And again, this thing in Baldwin County, I tell you what, that thing is really ramped up near Bon Secours, coming into Foley over the next 5 minutes. If you're at Magnolia Springs, yes, you're on the edge of the polygon, but be sheltered at Magnolia Springs over the next few minutes, as we could have a possible tornado coming in from the south. Ultimately, this is going to be an issue most likely for Summerdale and Robertsdale as well, and potentially all the way over to Elsinore there on US Highway 90. Be in a safe place. Let's make it happen if you're in those areas, as we have a confirmed tornado in southern Baldwin County, likely doing extensive damage near Bon Secours right now. And obviously, a big concern in a situation like this, trees falling onto houses. These are probably not going to be big bad tornadoes, mile wide things, but they could be, up to a 1/4 mile wide. And if that comes over your house and you get a tree falling in your house, that's a big deal. That's why we tell you to get to the lowest floor of a well-built structure, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. That's what you need to be doing right now in Foley. Let's go back over to our storm in Mobile County, because this cell has prompted the National Weather Service themselves to take shelter. And we note that a separate storm has actually prompted some concern from the Weather Service as well near Pritchard. And so Again, this has been super confusing because we've just got, rotation area after rotation area in Mobile County. One is happening near the Mobile Regional Airport. Another is happening near Pritchard. And so there's some concern that we may get a separate tornado developing near Pritchard. And look, this is on the edge of the polygon, but right in through here, we could get a new separate tornado warning in a matter of moments. If you're on the campus of the University of Mobile, you need to be sheltered. If you have a child or student on the campus of the University of Mobile, call them, text them, tag them in the comments below. Let them know that we've got a serious situation with a possible tornado very near there, but also a separate circulation farther south near the campus of the University of South Alabama. So watching Mobile County very specifically, let me pass along some good news. If you're at Tillman's Corner, Theodore, Bayou La Battery, Grand Bay, Alabama Port, also areas near Dauphin Island, those areas are not involved in an immediate danger zone. And so you are okay if you're in those areas. Let's go back over to our storm in Baldwin County. This does include areas near Foley and Alberta. If you're at Alberta, this polygon technically does include your area. Looks like the core of this thing is going to be more of an issue for areas near Foley. But again, nonetheless, Magnolia Springs all the way back over to Alberta, you should be taking shelter now as we have a possible tornado moving in from the south. Let's turn on some more data here to see exactly what we've got going on with this storm. Again, current time is 7:04 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and we have been on the air for about 2 hours now tracking numerous tornado warnings in parts of Baldwin and Mobile counties in southwest Alabama. Those have been the zones under the gun. Let's zoom out across the region as we've now passed 7 o'clock and show you what we've got going on. Just to kind of do a reset here for everyone watching across the region. I need to mention that if I'm not talking about your specific hometown, please understand, we want to talk about your hometown, but we have to focus on the danger zones. If I'm not talking about you, that's a good thing. You don't want me to talk about you in a tornado live feed like this. It is imperative that we focus on the folks who are involved in the imminent danger zones. And those so far today have been in Mobile and Baldwin counties. We note that this cell up here in Greene County, Mississippi is moving just like this. And so on that trajectory, this storm is going to ultimately enter Wayne County, could be potentially a problem for northern Washington County, Alabama, and for southern Choctaw County. And so watching that cell with intensity in Mississippi, we're also watching these two separate cells inside this one tornado warning polygon near Mobile Regional, the campus of USA, and a separate cell up here approaching the campus of the University of Mobile. If you're on the campus of the University of Mobile, you need to be sheltered. And, we practice what we preach around here. I know a guy on the campus of the University of Mobile. I'm going to text him right now and say, be sheltered. You can be the hero. You have the power. I don't. I can stand up here and sit up here and talk about tornado warnings, for 17 hours, but you have the power to impact someone's life in a positive way by letting them know that there's an imminent danger. You would be shocked how many people don't get tornado warnings. If you're watching this feed, odds are you're going to be in good shape because you're watching. But we know that folks don't get the warnings, and moreover, the folks that do get the warnings sometimes don't do anything about it. And so if you know someone on the campus of USA or the campus of the University of Mobile, call them, text them, tag them, let them know they need to be sheltered. By the way, we'll be able to give the campus of USA an all clear in about 5 minutes, but the weather is probably pretty bad near there or just to the west of there. Possible tornado near Mobile Regional exiting to the north. Kind of waiting on our friends at the Weather Service to hear how they're doing. They took shelter. They're located right here in the heart of this tornado warning. We will see if the storm is doing damage. Hopefully not, but we will know in a matter of moments as we've got folks on the ground, trained meteorologists, looking to see exactly what's going on. Back to our storm in Baldwin County. Bon Secour, be in a safe place. Same thing at Foley along Alabama Highway 59 or I should say, and US Highway 98 from Magnolia Springs all the way back over to Alberta. Be in a safe place. Summerdale, Robertsdale, Elsinore, this warning does include your specific area as well. Let's see if Silver Hill is involved in this. It's right on the edge. So Silver Hill, I should say, is here, and Silver Hill is out, all right? If you're at Silver Hill, you're out of the polygon, but for folks near Bon Secour and Foley, you are in the danger zone at this point. Current time, 7:07 p.m. Let's check on this storm down around Dauphin Island. I tell you what, that thing is spinning like a top. And you see right in through there, this is on the tip of Fort Morgan right here. That's an area of rotation we're gonna have to watch over the next few minutes. Setting up to be an active night indeed, with almost 2 hours of tornado warning coverage for the folks in Mobile and Baldwin counties here. And let's go back over to our big radar view and show you that we have 2 active tornado warnings that continue for the next 30 to 45 minutes for parts of Mobile and Baldwin counties. It is a situation where hopefully we'll start to see the storm intensity come down over the next few hours as these storms move north and we begin to lose more of the daytime heat content and we start seeing a reduction in the overall convective available potential energy. Once we start losing that daytime heating, hopefully these storms will begin to come down and we will lose all the tornado warnings. But that certainly is not the case now, as we are tracking 2 separate tornado warnings, one of which is near Orchard and also just to the east of Sims, coming into areas near the campus of the University of Mobile. The other is here in Baldwin County, near County Highway 12, near Alabama Highway 59, near US Highway 98. Foley, if you are in Foley or if you know someone in the city of Foley, let them know about this. You can be the hero. Foley, Alabama. Anyone in the city limits of Foley, Alabama, they need to be sheltered. Call them, text them, tag them, let them know in Foley, Alabama, under the gun from a possible tornado. And the thing is going to be out here on the south side of this kidney bean looking structure. This is what we call a hook echo, and it's not a classic hook on reflectivity, but certainly, looking at the velocities on this, there certainly is evidence that we could see a storm in through here that could be producing a tornado coming into Foley right here. That's going to be your storm coming into Foley that could be producing a tornado. This thing down around Fort Morgan, though, I tell you what, that thing has really ramped up as it's come to the north, and we are watching that very carefully as well. Let's go back up to our storm in Mobile County just to get your bearings straight. Here's the city of Mobile. You've got West Mobile right about here, and that's the area under the gun from these possible tornadoes. We actually see 2 distinct areas of rotation that could be producing tornadoes, one of which coming into Saraland, the other is very near the campus of, or perhaps just to the north of the campus of the University of South Alabama. Good news, I'll be able to give you an all clear on the campus of South in about 3 minutes. Let's give it 3 more minutes and hopefully we'll be able to do that on the campus of the University of South Alabama. We've had a lot of rotating thunderstorms today, and some of which have produced tornadoes and thus have produced damage. The most intense area of damage that I've seen so far today has come down here in Magnolia Springs, just to the west of Foley along US Highway 98 or near there. We had power poles snapped along with trees down. And again, watching these cells very carefully as they lift off to the north. Let's put this in motion and show you that we continue to observe these small storms, very small storms I might add, but they're rotating, and that's the concern. That we hadn't had a severe thunderstorm warning across our area today. We've had a ton of tornado warnings, and these have been primarily tornadic in nature. 7:11 p.m. and we have now an update for the storm here in Mobile County. The Weather Service continues to call this an observed tornado. So again, they're calling it a confirmed observed tornado happening near the campus of the University of South Alabama, coming into areas near Mauvilla over the next little bit, also very near the Orchard community. 8 Mile is here. Here's the University of Mobile campus. Saraland, Satsuma also involved in this tornado warning where we have a confirmed tornado doing damage on the ground as of 7:12 p.m. on this Saturday. So again, watching the situation in Mobile County. Let's go back over to our storm. We're working them both. This storm is coming into Foley at this point. And if you're at the Grove, that community on the western side of Foley, you need to be sheltered, all right? This is a situation where we could have a tornado near the Grove pushing into Foley over the next few minutes. I tell you, this thing is unlike the previous storm we had where it kind of missed Foley to the west and hit Magnolia Springs. No, this one is a little bit different. It's farther to the east. And what we're saying here is for folks in Foley, this is going to be a much bigger deal for you potentially as this storm continues working its way to the north. Getting some reports into the National Weather Service that we have confirmed damage in Bon Secour. And so this is a damaging tornado that has done damage in Bon Secour. This storm is now lifted to the north and it's coming into areas near Foley over the next few minutes. And so what we would tell you if you are in Foley, you need to be in a safe place. Let's make it happen. We know that we've had tornado damage back in Bon Secour, and you need to be sheltered if you're in Foley right now. Let's back it up and show you the wide view across Baldwin County because Daphne, Fairhope, Point Clear, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach. You are okay right now if I just called you out. No warning right now for Orange Beach, Perdido Key, Gulf Shores, areas near Josephine, Lillian, you're okay. This is the warning. This is the red zone. You see why the company's named that now. This is the red zone, the tornado warning, and Foley is in the red zone right now. Foley is in this tornado warning. This is Alabama Highway 59. This is US Highway 98. Possible tornado is coming into the city of Foley, Alabama. All right, so you need to be sheltered right now if you're in Foley, Summerdale, or Robertsdale. This thing is coming up the pike, basically paralleling Alabama Highway 59, tracking a separate confirmed tornado in Mobile County. So think about this. Let's just do a view from 30,000 feet to think about this for a second. We have 2 active tornadoes happening now across our region, doing damage in Mobile and Baldwin counties. I can't tell you the last time, even earlier in the year when we had a ton of tornado warnings. I don't remember a time when we had 2 storms doing confirmed damage. And so a very serious situation here in Mobile and Baldwin counties. That thing near the campus of the University of South Alabama, I can't give you an all clear just yet. We just simply can't do that. And my policy is we like to err on the course of least regret. And so campus of USA, you got to remain locked down. You got to remain shut down in that tornado place, safe place, I should say, over the next few minutes. Same thing at Orchard, same thing at Mauvilla. Here's the University of Mobile campus. Let's go in a little bit farther. There that is. 8 Mile is here. All those areas continue to be under the gun from a potential tornado lifting off to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. I tell you, let's go back over to the velocity view. It's just very clear to me that we could see damage in Foley, unfortunately, over the next few minutes. This is near the south side of Foley right now, probably approaching the core part of Foley. In other words, here's US Highway 98. This is Alabama Highway 59. This thing is going to go right over Foley. If you know someone in Foley, Alabama, there is a damaging tornado coming in. Text them, tag them in the comments below. This is as serious of a situation as you'll ever see, as we have a confirmed tornado coming into Foley. Let's go back over to our Mobile County storm here on velocity. And again, just to get your bearings straight, here's Interstate 65, that's Interstate 165, Interstate 10 is here. This is the Mobile Metro. 8 Mile, University of Mobile, next in line to see this tornado coming in from the southwest. All right, so we got this thing now north of the airport. If you're at Mobile Regional Airport or Baker High School, point south, we'll give you an all clear. You are DONE. You are done with the tornado warning as of 7:17 p.m. Let's go back over to our big radar view. and show you that South Mobile County is currently okay. Southern Baldwin County is not okay. South of the interstate near Alabama Highway 59, big storm coming into Foley. Look at that hook echo. That right there is a classic hook echo on radar, and we could have a tornado at Foley or perhaps just to the west of Foley moving in like that. And you see the banner below me, it says confirmed tornado. We had damage from this storm down around Bon Secours, and so this has a history of producing damage. There's just no other way to say it, and I hope that emphasizes exactly how volatile and serious this situation is. If we go back on the debris tracker product here, let's go over to that, because you'll see that when this storm was down around Bon Secours, that right there is as classic of a debris signature as you will ever see south of Foley. That is trees and buildings and building materials being lofted into the atmosphere by a tornado south of Foley. And if I advance this forward, you see what happens. The debris signature begins to go away, but it's one of those situations that we still could have a storm that's cycling up and cycling down, and we want you to remain sheltered in Foley, no doubt about it. I mean, that is just a textbook tornado signature on reflectivity. You've got the couplet here, right in through here. The couplet is not the most classic thing I've ever seen, but nonetheless, this is a strong indication of rotation over the city of Foley, Alabama right now. Thinking about that area, of course, you've got Lambert's Cafe, you've got Chick-fil-A, you've got areas near the automotive dealership there at the intersection of 98 and 59. If you live within 5 miles there, if you live within 5 miles of Foley Elementary School, be in a safe place. Same thing at Foley High School. Let's go back over to our storm in Mobile County, and that right there is a couplet that, a storm I should say, that is likely producing a tornado near 8 Mile, coming into areas near the campus of the University of Mobile, coming into Mauvilla. This is US Highway 45 right here. This is Interstate 65, that's 43. This is gonna be US Highway 90 right here. And so again, we're calling a tornado warning. The Weather Service has a tornado warning up for Mobile County, specifically for areas near Saraland, Mauvilla, areas out here near the campus of Mobile, be in a safe place. Good news is, if you're on the campus of South Alabama, the University of South Alabama, we will give you an all clear for now. I realize you've been in that tornado safe place over the last little bit for quite some time at South Alabama. Please be in a safe place if you are north of there, out towards 8 Mile and the campus of the University of Mobile. But again, for our friends on the campus of South Alabama in Mobile, USA, all clear. Same thing at Mobile Regional, same thing at Baker High School, same thing along Airport Boulevard. You are okay. City of Mobile is okay right now. Pritchard, you're fine. Issues out here towards 8 Mile coming into Mauvilla over the next few minutes. Again, just watching this situation carefully. Let's go back over to our velocity view, as we have now been here 2 hours and 15 minutes, and we have had a ton of tornado warnings over the last little bit. I'm really concerned about this cell that's now north of Fort Morgan. This is going to be out here over Mobile Bay, so there's no imminent tornado warning on this storm, but I'm concerned on the trajectory. This could become an issue for areas near Point Clear and Fairhope over the next little bit. Got a new update from our friends at the Weather Service on the storm in Baldwin County at this point. Let's zoom in there and show you that if you are at Foley, the possible tornado is at Foley or perhaps just to the west of there, out here on the western side of 98, coming into areas near Summerdale next. Hook echo right here. Let's go back over to the velocity view so that we can show you exactly where that rotation is right over Foley. Possible tornado at Foley moving just like this. Perhaps this will miss the core areas near Foley like the Tanger outlets, perhaps just to the west of there, but it's so close you gotta remain in that tornado safe place if you're at Foley. I promise it's not gonna be long, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we'll be able to give you an all clear. Certainly worth your time to be in your tornado hiding place if you are at Foley or Summerdale. Let's zoom out on our velocity image. And again, these storms mean business tonight. Let's go back over to our reflectivity source and show you that as it stands right now, we're tracking 2 confirmed tornadoes. They were confirmed tornadoes a bit ago. I haven't heard from the Weather Service. Kind of the way it works just internally here, just so you know. When you see confirmed tornado down here on this big banner below me or in front of me, that means that we've received confirmation in the last 5 to 10 minutes of at least 1 tornado on the ground. When you see tornado warning, that means that we have a tornado warning in effect, obviously, but the thing may have lifted at that point. And so technically we want to be, technically correct around here. That's why the banner changes from tornado warning to confirmed tornado. Obviously, it's still a very serious situation. Regardless of which banner we use. But again, Mobile and Baldwin counties under the gun from tornado situation here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, or I should say Southwest Alabama, I apologize. Again, current time is 7:23 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and hopefully we will start to lose some of the instability here over the next little bit, surface-based instability anyway, and we will be able to get rid of these pesky tornado warnings and really dangerous situations that we've had for now 2 hours and 20 minutes of coverage here. On a day like today with a slight risk, in other words, a level 2 risk, sometimes we get nothing. Sometimes we get situations like this that are on the higher end of that when we can have, 10 or 12 tornado warnings. I don't know how many we've had today. We've had at least 10 or 12 as we continue to watch these cells that move in from the Gulf of Mexico. Again, particularly concerned about this storm in Baldwin County happening near Foley right now. Getting a message from the Weather Service that the storm to the northeast of Sims continues to cycle up, cycle down. That's what we expect. Possible tornado near Foley on the western part, or near the western part of Foley, I should say, is moving just like that. Summerdale, if you know someone in Summerdale, Alabama, you text them now, right now. There's time. There's, 2 to 3 minutes left in Summerdale before this thing hits from the southwest. Your text could absolutely save a life. So let's make it happen. If you're in Summerdale, Robertsdale, areas here near Alabama Highway 59, be in a safe place, all right? This is not going to be a deal that lasts all night, but we certainly want you to do the right thing and be sheltered in the next little bit if you are in those specific areas. Let's go back over to our storm in Mobile County because this is now an issue for Mauvilla, Cushla, and also the University of Mobile campus. Looks like the cell has now passed to the north of 8 Mile and north of Orchard. If you're at Orchard, we'll give you an all clear. You are done with the tornado issues for now anyway. This cell could be producing a tornado right in through here, about to come across U.S. Highway 45 in the next 5 minutes. So again, Highway 45 is right here. This is Interstate 65. This is U.S. Highway 43. This down here is U.S. Highway 90. And so the cell is likely north or near U.S. Highway 90 right now, perhaps near or just to the east of Sims in Mobile County. With that said, if you missed it a minute ago, let me repeat this. If you're on the campus of the University of South Alabama, all clear from this storm for now. Same thing at Mobile Regional Airport, all clear. Airport Boulevard, Seven Hills, Dawes, you are okay right now. But the issues are clearly up here in the northern part of Mobile County, or coming into the northern part of Mobile County. We will see if the Weather Service decides to extend that to the north. If they do, putting you on notice, if you are in Chinchilla or areas near Axis, Bucks, Gulf Crest, Creola, you would be next in line to get a separate tornado warning, all right? So let's watch that carefully. Let's go back over to our storm in Baldwin County. The Weather Service is noting that the storm near Foley is weakening. Now, they're keeping the warning up, but they're noting that this cell is weaker than it once was. And so what we're telling you, good news, but not done yet in Foley. All right, so let's stay sheltered in Foley, stay sheltered in Summerdale. I suspect that we'll be able to give you an all clear soon, as the Weather Service is noting that this cell is ramping down at this point. Let's go back over to our velocity view on that, and we'll see exactly what they're talking about. I tell you, looking at this, it looks to me like it's kind of ramping back up. We'll see if they make a comment about that in just a minute. This is the possible tornado. Now on the northern side of US Highway 98, which is right here, if you're at Magnolia Springs, you're done. No issues at Magnolia Springs. The tornado signature is now well to your, I say well to, it's several miles to your east. Same thing at Alberta. If you're at Alberta, you're done, all right? This cell has clearly passed to your west, and this is coming up the pike near Alabama Highway 59, coming into Summerdale, Robertsdale, and Elsinore, which is right here on the map. Elsinore, Robertsdale, Summerdale, you would be next in line. Let's see what the Weather Service decides to do with that, because again, they're alluding to the fact that it has lost some of its strength over the next, or it has over the last few minutes. I would say too that this thing coming into northern Mobile County is weaker than it once was, but they're going to let this warning go. And I think that's a good call, because these cells are cycling up, they're cycling down. You may get a tornado that lasts for 30 seconds, and then it lofts back into the sky and goes away, and then comes back, say, a minute later. That's kind of the nature of how these things do on a night like tonight when we have a volatile atmosphere. Again, a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk for this evening for Washington, Mobile, Baldwin counties. Lower end severe weather probabilities for Santa Rosa, parts of Okaloosa, Escambia, Florida, Conecuh, Monroe, Clark, and Choctaw counties. Level 1 risk means that the risk is lower, but it's not 0. And so watching this situation carefully as we continue to track these possible tornadoes. Let's see if this cell currently in the southern part of Mobile Bay, we're watching it very carefully as well. This could be an issue ultimately coming into Fairhope and Point Clear over the next few minutes. You see the kidney bean shape right here, hook echo on radar, pushing just like that. That's basically going to parallel the shore of Mobile Bay, similar to what happened about an hour or two ago when that cell kind of did a number and moved basically right up the shoreline. Could be a similar situation with this supercell storm out over Mobile Bay near Mid-Bay Lighthouse right now. Let's go back up to our storms in the northern part of the area, because we note the Weather Service has put out a special weather statement for parts of Washington and Choctaw counties. This storm is now below severe limits back in Wayne and Greene counties here in Mississippi. This one is not producing winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, but the Weather Service is noting that this could strengthen again. So we're going to have to watch that as it comes into Washington County. And look, some bad news to report. In Baldwin County. Let's go back over to our storm in Foley. This one has ramped up. Just as I said a minute ago, unfortunately, this has ramped back up as it comes into Summerdale. Good news is, in 2 minutes, we'll be able to give you an all clear in Foley. It's still close, but we want 2 more minutes. It's 7:30. Let's give it till 7:33 as a course of least regret in Foley. This cell is coming into Summerdale and Robertsdale along Alabama Highway 59 right now. And we would encourage you, if you know someone in Summerdale, tell them about this situation. You would be shocked how many people don't get the warnings. But we need folks to get the warnings, and you can make that happen. You can be the hero in this situation. we would encourage everyone in Summerdale and Robertsdale to be in a safe place. Again, just tracking numerous storms this evening. Let's go back up to our storm in Mobile County. You're looking at central Mobile County here. U.S. Highway, this is 90. U.S. Highway 90 is here. This is 45. U.S. Highway 45. This is Interstate 65. U.S. Highway 43 is here. Campus of University of Mobile will give you an all clear. You are done for now with this tornado situation that is now to your north. Mauvilla, Cushla, areas near Millertown as well. I would be in a safe place. I realize Millertown is outside of the polygon, but I would be in a safe place. It looks like we've got some back burner development on this, and this could be moving, this is moving to the north at about 45 miles per hour. So let's get a new scan on that as this comes around. Let's kind of see what this does while we're looking at this Mobile County storm. And we will see if the Weather Service opts to extend the tornado warning up and through here near Chinchula and Georgetown. Again, the cell kind of tracked just like that, but then just like what's been happening over the last few hours, we see that we see some back burner development. And so we'll see if they issue a new warning for that over the next few minutes. Let's go back over to our Baldwin County storm. This is going to be a new tornado warning. Unfortunately, we've got yet another tornado warning on this Saturday evening, 7:32 p.m. I realize we've got a lot of events happening across the region this evening. But the concern now is basically the Alabama Highway 59 corridor extending from near Foley all the way back up to Steelwood Country Club and Stapleton. A new separate tornado warning has just been triggered for those areas. And so what we need to do, let's first tell you who's involved in this new tornado warning. Tell you who's in and who's out. Baldwin County, as we know, is the biggest county by area in the state of Alabama, but this is a fairly small tornado warning polygon. And so what we're telling you is if you are near Summerdale, Robertsdale, areas near Steelwood Country Club, Stapleton, Gateswood, Rosinton, Loxley, Interstate 10, U.S. Highway 90 near there's several RV parks out and through here. This is going to be basically from the Derailed Diner, points back over to the west near Alabama Highway 59. You've got your Big Love's truck stop right here. You've got the McDonald's on the south side of Interstate 10, I should say, Interstate 10, not 65, Interstate 10 in Baldwin County. Loxley being a safe place. Those are the areas involved in this active tornado warning. And this one's going to be on the board until 8:15 p.m. And so we have been here for 2.5 hours tracking these tornadoes, and we have had several tornadoes today in these warnings. But again, watching this situation very carefully in Baldwin County. Let's turn the radar data back on so that we can give you a better idea of where these storms actually are. If you are in the city of Foley, Alabama, will give you an all clear. You are done with the tornado threat for now in Foley. So again, if you're in Foley, hopefully you've been doing the right thing and been in that safe place. You can come out of that tornado hiding place now as we have a possible tornado at Summerdale lifting to the north, coming into areas near Robertsdale over the next few minutes. Magnolia Springs, Alberta, you are in the clear as of now. Same thing at the Alabama and Northwest Florida beach zones. Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, Perdido Key, you are okay. The tornado warning is to your north as of now. While we watch that storm in Baldwin County, we also should mention we've got a separate storm out over Mobile Bay. This is rotating. There's no doubt about it. Could have a situation where we see a tornado warning being needed for Fairhope and Point Clear yet again, maybe all the way back up to Daphne and Spanish Fort. This is a situation that is evolving, and the Weather Service is noting that that storm is indeed producing a water spout out over Mobile Bay, in the southern part of Mobile Bay, really out towards Mid-Bay Lighthouse, and this is moving just like that. And so hopefully what happens here, the best case scenario would be that this remains over Mobile Bay out here, and best case scenario would be we don't get a tornado warning for Daphne, Fairhope, Point Clear, but I'm just telling you, on this trajectory, it's going to be a close call. If this thing veers a little bit to the right, This could put it right on top of Point Clear and Fairhope. So watching this cell in southern Mobile Bay very carefully as well. Let's go back up to our storm in Mobile County, because that is a storm that continues to prompt a tornado warning for areas near Mauvilla and Cushla as well. Let's see if the Weather Service decides to extend this warning to the north, because they're going to have to make a decision in the next few seconds, as this one is going to be out of the polygon, if it's not already, coming into Chinchula and Gulf Crest out here in the rural part of northern Mobile County near US Highway 45 and areas just to the south of Citronelle. Those are the areas under the gun, right, or I should say they could be under the gun in a matter of moments if we get another tornado warning for those areas. Tell you what, while we are doing this, let's look across the region to see what we've got going on. It's so important to kind of keep our situational awareness going across the region. Weather Service noting that they're going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm coming out of Mississippi, most likely. It's kind of bowing out. You can see that. That's going to come into Washington County near Millry over the next few moments, and I suspect that we will get a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag. In other words, it's not a tornado warning, but it is a severe thunderstorm that could ramp up and produce a tornado warning. That's how that works. Coming into Washington County, Alabama. But again, we are here to track the ongoing tornado warnings that we have for parts of Mobile and Baldwin counties here in southwest Alabama. Current time, 7:38 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and that's that severe thunderstorm warning that I just alluded to coming on the board for parts of Washington County out here towards Vinegar Bend, Deer Park, maybe just to the north of there near State Line, Mississippi. Possible damaging wind gusts going to come into those areas over the next few minutes. So watching that severe thunderstorm warning in Washington County. Interestingly enough, Washington County has not had a warning until now. And again, this is a new severe thunderstorm warning coming on the board for Washington County, Alabama till 8:30 p.m. By the way, you hear the dings in the background. That's that new warning being generated in the Red Zone Weather app as well. So let's see what the Weather Service is going to do, because again, we're down to crunch time here to see if the Weather Service is going to extend this warning in Mobile County off to the north perhaps. We'll watch that one, but again, the imminent concern is near Summerdale and now in Robertsdale. All right, so Summerdale and Robertsdale under the gun from a possible tornado. And I tell you, that thing has really ramped up on velocity. Let's go back over to our iPad radar scope view, because I think you'll see, yeah, look at that. Classic couplet on radar right here, right over Summerdale, going to be coming into Robertsdale over the next 5 minutes. Do not get in a car and try to, outrun this thing. That's the worst possible thing you can do besides being in a mobile home. Don't be in a mobile home. We want you in a safe, site-built structure away from windows and doors near Summerdale, near Robertsdale, near US Highway 90, near I-10, near Loxley as well. Be in a safe place. Same thing at Steelwood. If you live within 5 miles of Steelwood Country Club on the eastern side, we need you to be in a safe place as well. Let's go back over to our reflectivity source, which is the classic radar view. If you're in Northwest Florida, I have not talked about you tonight at all. It's not that we're ignoring you, but all of the activity has been to the west of Northwest Florida. That's a good thing for places like Pensacola, Crestview, Navarre, Destin, Jay. You're okay right now. There could be issues later, but for now, you're okay if you're in Northwest Florida. Same thing in Covington, Butler, Crenshaw, Conecuh, Escambia, Monroe, Clark counties. All those areas in South Central and Southwest Alabama are okay. Yes, you've got heavy rain. Yes, you've got thunder and lightning coming into areas near Washington County, but so far today, all of the tornado warning issues have been to the south, down here in parts of Mobile and Baldwin counties. And again, I don't know how many tornado warnings we've had. We'll, get to that eventually, I guess. But for now, we're more concerned about the folks who are in imminent danger in parts of Baldwin County. Weather Service is canceling the tornado warning for Mobile County. If you're in Mobile County, you're done, all right? All clear for Mobile County, Alabama. Doesn't matter specifically where you are. Saraland, 8 Mile, Mauvilla, Cushla, Millertown, also areas near Sims, you're done. D-O-N-E. You can come out of that tornado hiding place as of now. We'll give you an all clear if you're in Mobile County. The warning's canceled. All right, Baldwin County. Let's go back to our active storm. Possible tornado is at Summerdale, coming into Robertsdale along Alabama Highway 59, US Highway 90, Interstate 10, under the gun from this imminent tornado. This has nothing to do with Orange Beach or Gulf Shores down here at the Alabama beaches. Let me move the map so you can get a better idea of that. Here's Orange Beach, here's Gulf Shores, here's Fort Morgan, here's Perdido Key. This has nothing to do with the Alabama and Northwest Florida beach zones. This is farther inland, now north of Foley. You can see the kidney bean shape on reflectivity. That lets us know that this storm is indeed rotating. Right in through here is your possible tornado. That may be right on top of Alabama Highway 59. If by chance you know someone that would be traveling on 59, Alabama Highway 59, let's say from Bay Minette all the way back to Gulf Shores on a Saturday evening, you need to call them and let them know that we have an active tornado warning specifically for a tornado happening near Robertsdale at this point, coming into areas near 104 near Robertsdale over the next few minutes. Greer's grocery store is right here in Robertsdale. If you are within 5 miles of that Greer's grocery store, they're a Red Zone Weather sponsor. Be in a safe place, all right? Robertsdale, be in a safe place. Anywhere near the schools, anywhere near Summerdale, be in a safe place. Storms moving north at about 25 miles per hour. While we watch that, let's also pay attention to this storm out over Mobile Bay. We'll go back over to the velocity view. This storm is indeed rotating. In fact, you could argue that it's ramped up over the last few frames. This could be a waterspout currently out over Mobile Bay, and this is going to be coming into areas near Point Clear and Fairhope and Montrose over the next few minutes. So again, rotation out over Mobile Bay, coming into Fairhope, Daphne, Spanish Fort, Montrose over the next, say, 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see if the Weather Service decides to issue a tornado warning for those areas. I'm just putting you on notice. We could get a tornado warning imminently for that part of Baldwin County soon, all right? Just putting you on notice. Again, the only tornado warning, thankfully, that we have on the board as of 7:44 p.m. on this Saturday, in effect for areas near Robertsdale, Summerdale, and points north, back up to Interstate 10 near Loxley. Elsinore is now out, all right? If you're in Elsinore, we'll give you a tornado all clear for now. The storm is going to pass to the west of Elsinore, happening near Robertsdale, near the intersection of Alabama Highway 59 and US Highway 90. This is going to come very near Steelwood and probably split the difference between Steelwood Country Club and Gateswood. Here's the community of Gateswood in far eastern Baldwin County over the next 5 to 10 minutes. We will see if that storm maintains its structure. These storms are cycling up, they're cycling down as well, and thus is the nature of thunderstorms on a classic slight risk day. Most folks are not going to have anything in the way of tornadoes today. That's just a fact. But the folks that have had tornadoes in Magnolia Springs, in parts of Mobile County near Theodore, it's been a big deal kind of day. There have been confirmed reports of damage in those communities, and thus that's why we are here keeping tabs on this situation for you on this Saturday evening, 7:45 p.m. here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, where we are 2 hours and 40 minutes into this coverage. Certainly want to thank all of our wonderful Red Zone Weather sponsors. I certainly want to thank all the people around me who have supported me today, my grandmother, and all our wonderful folks. Thank you for feeding the weatherman every single day. That certainly is a blessing for me. Let's go back to our storm in Washington County, because again, this is a storm that has prompted a severe thunderstorm warning for places near Fruitdale and State Line, Mississippi. There's the community of State Line, Mississippi. This is the actual Alabama-Mississippi state line. US Highway 45 is here, damaging straight line winds possible in Greene County and far southeastern Wayne County over the next few minutes as this storm moves just like this, coming into Alabama over the next few minutes. Again, pardon me if I go silent, looking at our sources here to see exactly what we are seeing in terms of damage. Good news is I haven't had too many reports of damage over the last few minutes, but again, we've had a lot. We've had comparatively numerous reports of damage and several reports of tornadoes today. It's been an active weather day, specifically over the last 3 hours. Got one tornado warning left. Weather Service sending me a note that they have measured 1.1 inches of rain over the last 2 hours there at the National Weather Service. Certainly beneficial rain with this system as well, but keep in mind, those of us on the eastern side of the region, we haven't had anything today in terms of measurable precipitation, maybe like a trace or something. We're located in Brewton, Alabama, and we had some showers earlier, but really nothing to, dampen the soil too much. We will have rain overnight most likely, but again, NWS Mobile saying over an inch of rain confirmed at the Mobile Regional Airport. We will see what they're going to do with this tornado warning. I haven't heard much chatter over the last few seconds, which is inevitably a good thing. Again, going in pretty tight to Baldwin County, Alabama. Core of the danger is now at Robertsdale, all right? Robertsdale is here. This is Alabama Highway 104. This is US Highway 90. Alabama Highway 59 is here. This is Interstate 10 up here. Possible tornado at Robertsdale coming into areas just to the east of Loxley, I apologize, not Foley, Loxley over the next few minutes. Foley's all clear. You're done with the tornado risk for now anyway at Foley. And we will see if the Weather Service is going to hold that warning or allow it to go in the next little bit. I tell you, it's going to be a mighty close call because I have a sneaking suspicion that we may need to get a tornado warning soon for the eastern shore due to this. This is a more pronounced area of rotation out over Mobile Bay. That is likely a waterspout at this point, a tornadic waterspout, not a fair weather waterspout, but one that could be producing a tornado over water over Mobile Bay. Weather Service noting that the storm approaching US Highway 90 there near Robertsdale is broadening out. That's what we're seeing on radar 2, but they're going to maintain the warning as it may be cycling down and it may cycle up in the next few frames. So let's kind of hold that together, or hold it here together, I should say, as we continue to track these possible tornadoes this evening. Active weather night. You never know on a slight level 2 risk day. You may get 20 tornado warnings, you may get none. It's sort of a really uncertain thing when you're in one of these level 2 risk days because there's uncertainty involved. Thus is the nature of the atmosphere. The atmosphere is chaotic, it's uncertain, there's variability even. And so it is so important to have a tornado action plan, and when and if you get a tornado warning, implement it. And that's what we're encouraging folks near Robertsdale and Loxley to do right now. Same thing on Interstate 10, no travel from Alabama Highway 59 all the way back over to the Derailed Diner and the big fireworks depot there on Interstate 10. No travel on that zone. Possible tornado over water is happening near Point Clear, and the Weather Service is suggesting that this could be a large water spout at this point. So I want to zoom into that storm because I suspect that we are about to get a tornado warning for the eastern shore. So again, putting you on notice, Fairhope, Montrose, Daphne, Spanish Fort, you're probably about to get another tornado warning. And I hate to say that because it's obviously the last thing that all of us, including me, want to hear, but that's the news of the moment anyway. Out here over Mobile Bay, possible tornado is here. Hopefully what happens is this thing keeps moving basically due north. That would be the best case scenario. But if it jogs a little bit to the right or the east, that could put it right over the eastern shore. So we're really watching that storm carefully. Let's go back over to our tornado warning. Here's the deal. Summerdale, all clear. You're done. D-O-N-E in Summerdale. You get an all clear. Foley has been all clear for about 15 minutes now. Summerdale, you get an all clear. Robertsdale, stay sheltered for the next 5 minutes. If you're in Silver Hill, this is to your east. No issues in Silver Hill at this point. Let's see if we can go back over to our reflectivity on the iPad source here. And I want to zoom out across the region and put this into a brief motion pattern just to kind of set the scene. Very, very wide view here. Here's Mississippi. This is Alabama. This is Northwest Florida. Louisiana's back here. Obviously, this is the Gulf of Mexico. Storms continue to stream in from the south. These storms mean business. These are the ones that have prompted tornado warnings over the last several hours. Main batch of storms here, all right, back here in Mississippi, pushing off to the east. Once this line comes through your location, you get a permanent all clear for the night. But we're not done yet, all right? You're not done yet. Until this main line of storms passes through your location, we can't give you an all clear. We'll get there with time, probably in the next 6 hours. By the way, I don't think we're gonna have tornado warnings for the next 6 hours. I think this is gonna be a deal that slowly but surely de-escalates over the next few hours. But again, watching this situation carefully, let's go back over to our high-res reflectivity view. And looking at Baldwin County, we are down to count on one tornado warning this evening for Baldwin County, Alabama. And we could have a possible tornado coming into Robertsdale, or I should say areas near or just to the east of Loxley over the next little bit. And so we want you to maintain your tornado safe place if you are in Loxley or Robertsdale right now. So again, watching this situation carefully in Baldwin County. And we note that the staff at the Baldwin County Emergency Operations Center, they are taking shelter. They are under the gun from this possible tornado near Robertsdale right now. And so watching this situation carefully with them, they're taking shelter. They're doing the right thing. That's what we advise you to do right now. If you are near Loxley or areas near Gateswood, same thing. Near Interstate 10. From the Derailed Diner back over to Alabama 59, there should be no travel at this point. Coming up on 8 o'clock, and we have been here now for almost 3 hours with continuous tornado warnings. And unfortunately, it's going to be a night where we probably will see some more as we have an ongoing level 2 out of 5 slight severe weather risk. A tornado watch does continue for Washington, Mobile, Baldwin counties, and for Escambia County in Northwest Florida until 10 o'clock tonight. Again, the overall threat will likely go down over the next few hours. It's going to be a slow process, but we'll get there as the overall volatility in the atmosphere goes down. Rosinton, if you're in Rosinton, you need to be in a tornado safe place. We'll zoom in there. Again, this is US Highway 90 right here, Alabama Highway 59, Interstate 10. Those are the zones involved in this active tornado warning. Here comes a new sweep. Once the radar sweeps through here, you'll see that this cell is gradually pushing off to the north. And as it does so, heavy rain is going to be likely near the interstate over the next few minutes. There it comes. You can see that heavy rain is now spread over the interstate, pushing off to the north. Gateswood being a safe place. This rotation certainly is much more broad compared to what it once was, but nonetheless, there could be a tornado happening in areas near Gateswood over the next 15 minutes. If you are in Summerdale, we gave you an all clear about 5 minutes ago. Still can't do that in Robertsdale as the circulation, this is weaker than it once was. There's no doubt about that. But in Robertsdale, we want you to stay in that tornado safe place for the next 5 to 10 minutes as this clears town to the north. We did have confirmed reports of damage back around Bon Secours earlier from this exact same storm. think that was about 45 minutes ago. Let's go back over to our reflectivity view. We're also tracking a separate storm. There's the tornado warning for parts of central Baldwin County. Here's the eastern shore region. Hook echo on radar, likely indicative of a water spout, a tornado over water, in other words, pushing just like this to the north. It looks like this is going to miss the eastern shore just a bit to the west, out over Mobile Bay. We will see if it holds its strength once it gets up here towards the Bayway and the Causeway. Weather Service noting that they are also monitoring a separate storm coming into areas near Fort Morgan. Yeah, that one is really screaming on the velocity view. We'll show you that quickly. Here's Dauphin Island over here behind me. Fort Morgan is right across the southern part of Mobile Bay. There's Fort Morgan. Gulf Shores is over here. And so possible tornado over water going to cross over the peninsula that is the Fort Morgan Peninsula right about here. This is going to be near Gulf Highlands. We may get a tornado warning for southern Baldwin County out towards Fort Morgan, Gulf Highlands, to the west of Gulf Shores out on Fort Morgan Road. Just putting you on notice, we may get a tornado warning for those same areas over the next 5 to 10 minutes. Just putting you on notice. Again, we've had a ton of that tonight. And let's see if we can go back over to our reflectivity source and show you what we've got going on across the region. A severe thunderstorm warning is now in effect for parts of Washington County in West Alabama, damaging straight line winds. Possible near the community of State Line, also near, say, Vinegar Bend and Deer Park. Severe thunderstorm warning near those areas. In western Alabama, near the Mississippi line, only tornado warning that we've got as of 7:57 p.m. is for parts of central Baldwin County. Possible tornado near Robertsdale. Look at how small this storm is. I mean, it's not, a large thing at all. It's not a big, bad supercell, but if a small tornado affects you, it's a big deal. And so that's why we are here. Our policy since 2016 has been anytime there's a tornado warning for any of our 9 counties in southwest Alabama and 3 in northwest Florida, we go live and we stay live. We have now tracked over 400 tornado warnings over the last 6 years. We've had a lot, all right? It's been a busy time, and I can tell you from experience, lots of lost sleep on my part and on your part due to these tornado warnings. Hopefully, though, we won't we won't have to endure much sleep deprivation tonight, as the overall threat is expected to go down in a bit. We're not done just yet, and like I said, it's going to be a slow process. It's not going to be we go from tornado warning to none. I think we could have more over the next few hours, but overall, the threat is going to gradually subside. Again, watching this thing also out over Mobile Bay. Could have a water spout, could be a sizable water spout right now, just to the west of Fairhope. If you're on land in Fairhope, Montrose, or Daphne, you do not have a tornado warning, but this thing is mighty, mighty close to you, basically pushing just like that. Could be an issue ultimately for the Bayway and for areas near the Causeway, near the Bluegill Restaurant, in about 30 minutes. We'll watch that one with time. Let's see what the Weather Service is saying about our storm in Baldwin County. No damage to the Emergency Operations Center in Robertsdale. That's great news. That tells me that maybe this storm is starting to cycle down, all right? Starting to cycle down in central Baldwin County. Hopefully that's the case, and hopefully we can get rid of this tornado warning in Baldwin County, because hopefully it'll be the last one. It is now 9 p.m. in the east. It is 6 p.m. out west, and it's 8 p.m. here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, where we have had Polygon Palooza over the last few hours, numerous tornado warnings, and considerable damage in parts of southern Mobile and southern Baldwin County. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson. You're watching live Red Zone Weather severe weather coverage, and we are here because of one lingering tornado warning that continues until 8:15 p.m. for parts of central Baldwin County. Just to kind of do a reset if you're just now joining us, possible tornado is going to be just to the east of Foley, coming into areas near Interstate 10 like this, moving up the pike towards Gateswood and Steelwood. be in a safe place in those areas. This is so close to those communities that we would encourage you to stay sheltered. The threat has really lifted to the north of Robertsdale at this point, but as a course of least regret, I would stay in that tornado safe place just for the next 1 to 2 minutes. Let's give it 1 to 2 more minutes in Robertsdale, and I'll be comfortable enough to give you an all clear. I say that. Guess what? The Weather Service has canceled the tornado warning. So for the first time in 2 hours and 56 minutes, we now have no active tornado warnings for any part of South Alabama or Northwest Florida. Take a deep breath. We're done for now. We may get more. I think that this thing out over Mobile Bay certainly warrants our attention. Let's go into that storm and show you that briefly. I'm going to take a break because we don't have any tornado warnings. As of 8:01 p.m., no tornado warnings. This is going to be the cell to watch. This is out over Mobile Bay, and this is lifting off to the north. If this maintains its strength, we'll have to come back on for another tornado warning that would be posted for areas near Spanish Fort, Bromley, up the Mobile-Tensaw River Delta, but we will deal with that with time. As of this moment, however, we do not have any active tornado warnings. So again, no tornado warnings. Another storm that may prompt a tornado warning is coming on shore near Fort Morgan, near Gulf Highlands out here on Fort Morgan Road. This one could produce a brief tornado that crosses the Fort Morgan Peninsula and ultimately comes out here into southern Mobile Bay. That's something to watch over the next few minutes as well. But again, because we don't have any active tornado warnings as of 8:02 p.m., we're going to say goodbye for now, post some updates in the Red Zone Weather app, and of course, if we happen to have more warnings, we will come back on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to bring you the very latest. I'm Spinks Meganson. Hope you have a good evening.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone Weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.